idea. I'm literally wearing my husband's clothes. Well, and this is mine. Hi. Ooh, when I looked, it was 13 seconds. Okay, so I'm trying to find a comfortable spot for myself. I feel like I want to get the star in a little bit. So welcome. I guess you'll just see the edges of the star because I'm like kind of like going off the edge of the couch. Bubba is, where is she? Oh no, Bubba's outside. That's right. That's right. She wanted to go outside last minute. Hi. So I must be doing this for somebody because I was fully prepared to not go live. And then they told me it wouldn't let me go. And then I was like, what? I'm like, you want me to go live? And then bam, it went. So there you go. So today, speaking of witchy, we are going to be doing a pick a reading. I'm going to be talking with you guys about some stuff that's happening in my personal life. And then I'm going to be reading from this deck, Mind Body Makeover. We're going to do 3 readings. Hello, welcome. We're going to be doing 3 readings today. I'm going to do a little intro talk to the readings. And then we're going to start. So the first reading is going to be from the Mind Body Makeover deck. The second reading is going to be from the Self-Care Oracle. And the third reading is going to be from the Witch's Wisdom. So if you were drawn to one of these, but you don't feel like staying, come back. Come back later. I don't know what's going to happen. I literally have no idea what's going to happen. I was called to do this I didn't tag anything. I didn't put anything, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, that was it. I was told just get on here and just talk to you guys. But the crazy thing is, right before I started putting this together, I got a message from our landlord. And, you guys, I've been kind of quiet. Sorry, I'm feeling like almost indigestion, like nerves to tell you guys all this stuff, but I'm excited too. There's just so much that's happening seems to be the way of my life. And feel free to, oh, hi, Anna. Feel free to say hello and welcome yourself. If you don't want to, it's okay. I can't see who you are. It just tells me, how many people are there. That's it. So there's no obligation to join in, but if you want to join in, absolutely. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing a pick a reading. And like I said, they didn't have me, I feel like whoever's supposed to be here is here. And whoever shows up and leaves or whatever, it's for them to see. So basically, the long and short of it is we have gone back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back. I'm like, rah, rah. I'm like, no wonder why my neck hurts so bad. I have fucking whiplash. Seriously, for the changes that have been happening in our lives. Also, just so you know, I got like wickedly baked because I've been trying really hard I've been trying to figure out who the fuck I am and where I'm going and what I'm doing and what's happening. I've been going through so many massive fucking changes this winter. It's been unbelievable. And since the dragons came in, it's just off the fucking charts. And now with, April coming and eclipse season and Mercury retrograde, we're in the shadow of Mercury retrograde. Right now, we're going into that right now. There's just a lot of changes. And, eclipse season gives us so much and it shows us so much about ourselves and where we're going and what we need to look at and the shadow. So what happened was, for those of you who know my story, you know the story. But I'm just going to tell you, you know my backstory. I'm not going to get into my whole backstory. This is really about all of you guys today. They just want me to share this leg of my journey with you because it's so profound. It needs to be talked about. So we had to get out of our place by April 1st. And we've just been sitting with spirit, which way do you want us to go? What do you want us to do? Blah, 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 blah. I kept seeing visions of us back in the RV and I just started to feel like really sick and overwhelmed because I'm like, I know I can't. Like, I've just been in like 20-foot ceilings for 3 months. I'm like, I can't go back into a box, I'm like, I don't think I could do that. And I've been having it's just made me face like so many things that I didn't realize were still so ingrained in me. And as I spoke about on my other channel, Lula's Life, on the Welcome to Pisces season, I told you guys about what had been going on with me and my life, and you know, how Lori, one of our tribe members, had come out and held space for me all weekend. You know, I'm still working through so much of that. Like, I noticed yesterday, I was like, oh fuck, I gotta message her, you know. I'm like, it's been like a month or something. And I looked on, and I was like, it's been 2 weeks, but the last 2 weeks, it felt like, actually the whole winter felt like such a long period of time. And I've been peeling back these layers and trying to figure out like what's going on and who I am and what I want. And I feel like that's what the dragons are showing us. They're like trying to say, like, listen, it really is over. Like, your past, your life, like your I didn't know I was gonna get emotional, but I've gone through a lot of death stuff to an extreme that I didn't really understand. You know what I mean? Um, and what it means to really shed that which is gone and like is never coming back, not in this lifetime. And that's just my story. You know, people change. I've changed dramatically. My husband has changed dramatically. So many of you guys, like, we've all changed. Like, this is a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life, right? And I'm feeling good. So I know I'm jumping all around, but it's kind of funny because I was like all composed and ready to go. And I was like, oh, this reading's gonna be fucking awesome. I'm like, I can't wait. I miss you guys. Like, I love the fucking readings. I love reading for you. It is my pleasure. It is my divine pleasure. I fucking love it. You can tell I love it. And I know it's part of my soul, you know, purpose. But man, having to like be out of here by a certain date was like kind of freaking me out. And then the more I realized, it's funny because normally I go through the whole calendar at the end of the, you know, one year, or at the very beginning of the new year. I always go through the month and I put down the, oh, thank you. Anna says me too. I know, dude, right? It's like, it's so fucking heavy. Like, the layers. We're going to talk about this, and the dimensions and the layers and the parts of us that are folding in together from different lifetimes. But yeah, I mean, I just started to like see everything from this, like, I feel like I was looking at things in a linear way, you know, like, and not really understanding what our absolute path and purpose was. Like, not just me, but like, you know, my husband and Bubba, and like, you know, what are we meant to do? Where are we meant to go? Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. I can't help it, but I'm like, that's okay, Anna. I'm like, we're bringing the medicine. It's all good. Plus, you know, once this goes up and I edit it and everything, I'll probably put it out tomorrow or the next day. You know, and all that. It's like, people can flash forward to their fucking reading, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, this is my channel too, and it's like, this is a channel for all of us. And I know that some of you guys really love this part, you know, because it's as light workers, basically what I was going to say, I feel like a lot of people who skip past this and go to the readings, I feel like they're on a different trajectory. They're on a different path, and we're just here to hold space with them. That's cool. But I feel like people who come here with us, like, we get it, you know? I think that's also why they don't have me like plan it or like put a time frame. It's just like, I didn't even know I was going to do this, you know? So it's just like, jump in, let's do this. I'm like, all right, cool. And I don't even know like if it's going or not going, you know what I mean? Like, it says it's going, but you know, I live up in the mountains, so it comes and it goes. But basically, I started to have this fear that we were going to be homeless again. And I just, even though we have an RV, like, even though we have like vehicles, we have money, like, we're good. Like, it's like, you know, we finally have savings. You know what I mean? It's like, we're in this really good place. And I kept hearing from Spirit over the last year or so, like, you're jumping timelines, you're jumping timelines. And I thought, I kept trying to figure out what I did wrong. You know what I mean? Like, where I fucked up. And then all of a sudden it was like, cut to today, and I get a message from my landlord, and I have to give a little backstory of it, that over the weekend, we went and looked at this amazing little cottage on this cute little island in the sweetest little spot. It was so magical. The price was right. Everything, there were so many awesome things about it. There were so many people applying for it. When we were there was at least 7 people in just the time we were there. It was like an open house. And where we live up here, it's very rare to find something like that. It was a rare little gem. But she was also a little diamond in the rough because, it's partially off grid to the point where like it doesn't have central heating and has wall heaters and a wood stove. But like I was like, is there a wall heater in the bathroom? I don't see one. She's like, no. And I'm thinking, why wouldn't you put a wall heater in the bathroom in the Pacific Northwest? Like you put them in these other rooms but not in there. I'm like, that seems odd. Anyway, but I was like, that's okay, we know how to do that. Like we could just put a heater, a propane heater in there, no biggie. All these things were aligning. And then I started to feel sick. And I don't know, it was weird. It's like I couldn't tell if I felt sick because I was excited, or if I felt sick because I was in the wrong place. Like Alder and I had to stop on the way there. I started a fight with him, just like all these little things. I was just like being triggered. And I was like, what is going on? What is going on? And I was so excited to see this place. And then we get there and it's magical. It's so fucking magical. It's right off the water, but like not on the water. It's like kind of up. It's like there's the water, houses, the road, and then there. But it's on an island, so it's super cute and like tucked away. And like it was so charming. There were deer like littered all over the place. I was like, oh my gosh, like they're so chill. Like they're so used to it. They're safe there. It was a dead end road. So magical. We drive up, and as we're driving up this beautiful, all wooded, driveway, so magical, there's a deer like sitting like all relaxed on the side of the driveway, like, hey, what's up? And we're like, oh my gosh, there was a deer here when we came to see this property. They walked right in front of us on the driveway. Like it's one of my spirit totems, and Alders too. And so it just was like this magical fucking experience. And we get there and I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm like, the house that we would be renting is here, driveway, and the landlord's house. And I was like, that is just too close. I'm like, that's just too close. Cut to, we get out of the car, we start talking to her, and she's like, so this is our vacation home. She's like, we live in Leavenworth, which is like 4 hours away. I'm like, oh, well, that's a horse of a different color. I see this magical garden with fruit trees. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, this is beautiful. I'm like, I love it, It just felt so right. We see like this like kind of like makeshift garage, like tent thing, and just all these things, a shed for Alder's tools. And and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, Baba would love it here. We go in the house. It's like a little Barbie cottage. Like seriously, it's so freaking cute. Has all these cute little like attic with like this cool little door. I may actually put the video out, but I don't know. I'm somebody else's house, so I don't want to be weird about it. But I did take a video because I had a feeling I was going to like look back on it later. I would want to back on it later. And I ended up calling in one of my sisters, and I was like, they knew like what was going on. And I was just like, hey, like, what do you think of this? Blah, blah, blah. And they gave us their input. And then I sent them the video and they gave us further input. And it was just really cool because I had these moments where I didn't know what to do, because after all these people applied, we actually were finalists. We were in the top 3. And I was like, holy crap, holy, like seriously. I mean, she probably looked at about 20 to 25 people, I think, throughout the whole day, looked at this place. So we took that as a great compliment. We had a great rapport with her. She was so kind, so lovely. Like we could totally see her being our landlord. There were so many things about it that were really awesome. It was, Anna, it was like magic. But then okay, so then I have to tell you this. So we walk in and we're like, oh my gosh, this kid, and like, oh, and then I'm like, oh, where's this? And whatever. And then we come around the corner and we go into the living room, and I'm like, oh, and I like gasped because, when you see something that is so shocking, you naturally gasp. And I gasped, and she's like, what? And I'm like, I don't know. I just told her I was a spiritual guidance counselor, you don't know how they're going to be or what they're going to be. And I always say, if I can't be myself, I don't want to live here. But I was just like, well, I said, it's just kind of bizarre. I said, those are my curtains. And she's like, what? And I go, I have those curtains on the window. And she's like, oh yeah. And they were throughout the main windows of the house. And I'm like, what is going on? Now, the craziest part is when we first came up to the peninsula almost 2 years ago, I bought them at a yard sale, and they were like pristine. Like they were dry cleaned in a dry cleaning bag on the hanger. And so I didn't even know where they came from, who they were. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, these must be. And I saw they were made out of jute, but I didn't see like a name brand or a store or anything that I recall. And she's like, oh, yeah, I think I got those at IKEA. And I'm like, really? I'm like, interesting. And I'm like, what are the odds? What are the odds? What are the odds that the only curtains that I had? And then the craziest part about that story is that there was one window that had white curtains. And I'm like mine would go there. You know what I mean? It was like the only window that didn't have it. And I was like, mine would fit here. Mine would match here. And I was like, how crazy is that? It was just crazy. Then I'm walking around more and I turn around and I'm like, and I gasp again because as a fucking medium, you know, I have all the clears. It's almost like spirit gives me whatever gifts they need me. If I need to hear something, I hear it. If I need to smell it, taste it, see it, whatever in my dreams, it's like whatever. It's different all the time. But this was one of those moments where I was like, I dreamt this. I've been here before. I'm like, what the fuck? It was so cool, but it was also like, what's happening? So I was super confused, and there were so many people there, and I felt like there were other people there that would probably benefit from living there more than us. And then at one point I said to Alder, I go, you know what's really crazy about this place? Because we'd really walked around and went in all the rooms, and it was a 2-bedroom little cottage. Even the bedroom, like the main bedroom, was so adorable, and it had great light, a great window, and then it had like a window box on the outside, and there was a heart rock in the window box. Like all the flowers were gone, but the garden had rosemary, strawberries, like the fruit trees were like apple and I think plum. And I mean, it was a dream. And the price was amazing. It was the same price that we would be paying here. And I was like, you know what, this is really special. And this is a cool little place. And you could tell like whoever built it, like it's like it has like nooks and crannies. She's like, there's a hidden, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it was just really fun. But I just didn't feel like it was our place. But I was like, but the price, and I'm like, we have to move. And I was like, maybe we should, you know, make ourselves move like faster. Maybe if we just, you know, try to sell everything really quickly. And because I had asked her, I said, when are you looking to rent it? And she's like, as soon as possible. And she's like, when are you guys looking to move? And I said, April 1st. And she was like, oh, and she was, I have people who want to move in right away, and I would rather just rent it right away. And I said, I understand that. I'm like, you got to do what you got to do. But when we were leaving, I said, if that's going to put us out of the running, I'm like, can we talk about that? And she was like, okay. So it was really interesting because our communication with her, so then we left and then we went out to eat, Alder and I, and we talked about it and the pros and the cons, and like, you know, and the pros outweighed the cons, but the cons were kind of heavy. It was on an island at the end of the island. It would take Alder 20 minutes just to get off the island, not to mention like now he's built up such a clientele up here, which he'll do no matter where he goes. He's an amazing mechanic. He's so great at fixing things. He's a natural, but you know, in a year and a half, his clientele base is amazing now. And there's a lot of like retired like people up here who have a lot of vintage cars that they put a lot of money into and whatever. And so and they tell their friends who tell their friends. So, you know, we figured it would probably take him about 45 minutes to drive over here. And that's with no traffic. That's if everything's just going along. We're talking 1-lane roads all the way here. You know what I mean? That's not talking about getting behind a logging truck. I was like, dude, on a Friday, you get off work and then you got to drive, you know, all the way home. I told Bubba if she wanted to go outside that, hold on. Oops, hold on. Bubba, hold on. I told her if she wanted to go outside that, sorry. I told her if she wanted to go outside that she had to stay outside. Well, no, the sun went away and she's like, oh, I'm cold. Anyway, and look at I'm wearing his Papa Bear shirt. I feel like I'm channeling the divine masculine right now. Anywho, I just started to think about it, and that's a really big con. You know, when he's home, it's beautiful and awesome. However, we also don't know that right across the way, I mean, just where we were standing on our porch, even though we were up high, like, you know, from people, we weren't so high. I could still see houses. They could see us. Like, I couldn't stand on the porch, you know, topless without, you know. Baba, Anna says hello and she loves you. She says hello and she loves you too. She's eating. She was naughty today. She's in the naughty chair today. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, she's molting. She gets really cranky and crabby when she's molting and gets bratty. So yeah, I just was like, you know, I don't feel freedom here, and then right across the way from us, across the road, when we were getting ready to leave, I saw a swing set and a bunch of kids' toys and stuff. It was a really nice house and everything, but you know, I was like, do I want to hear screaming kids all summer? And then I thought, this is right on the water. I'm like, I don't know. So we just kept going back and forth. But I was like, yeah, but summer's only like 3 months for us. It's not, we would be inside more than we'd be outside. And it was like really cool. So anyway, with all that being said, we, Bubba's eating and drinking water. That's what you hear. I said, I feel like we need to call Jolly. I feel like we need to talk to Jolly. I don't know why, and that's our landlord. And I was like, I'd never felt the pull like that before, like I did in that moment. And so he was like, well, let's just wait it out. Let's just sleep on it. So long story short, yesterday we called our landlord and we spoke to him and I told him what was going on and what he thought. And also they wanted a $50 per person, credit check. That's where I live, the state that I live in, Washington. It is so insane. It is so insane. It's so insane. The things the hoops you have to jump through, all that. I don't think so jumping forward, we asked our landlord if we could just stay here until the house sells. I'm like, we'll take good care of it. We'll, blah, 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 blah. Like, we don't have to be here, when he shows it or whatever. And interestingly enough, while we were on the phone with him, his realtor had stopped by and he's selling 2 homes right now. So basically he said yes. And I was like, okay, I feel better now. Because we felt this pressure to take the cottage because things like that just don't come up that often. And I was like, I don't think I can live in the RV again. And I was just like having these little mini panic attacks. And I was like, you know what? I know we can seal the deal on this. I know we can get it. We just have to work really hard and bust our ass and blah, blah, blah. And then it was like this old version of me like took hold. And I said, remember when we were standing in the cabin and I said, this is like a version. It's like this is what I was leading to earlier. The cabin was like a version of all of the places that we wanted in one. However, maybe years ago, maybe, you know what I mean? Like maybe we were meant to go this road, but we went this way. I don't know. But what I do know is that after we got off the phone with him, we felt this sigh of relief, like, okay, cool. Like we don't have to leave in 4 weeks. Like this isn't pressure. Everything's going to be fine. We're good. We can save more. We can do this. We can do that, blah, blah, blah. Life is good. I start getting ready for this reading. I'm feeling good that we said no to the cottage. I sent her an email last night and said, I'm like, we just can't move in before April 1st. I'm like, it's just too much. It's too stressful. I don't want to do that. It doesn't feel right. I'm like, it isn't the right fit for us. But, I was just like, thank you kind of thing. And interestingly enough, right before I started this, I got a message from our landlord that said that the realtor heard him talking to us when he walked in and said that he thought that was a really bad idea. And he loves us. Like, he's not trying to be a jerk. We know him too. He said it's actually better for them just to move out. And he's like, I can just show it easier, let people use their own imagination, like blah, 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 blah. And so I was like, I don't know how to explain this in any other way, but freedom. I was like, wahoo! When I saw it, I feel like before my heart would have sunk or I would have been like, no, what now? Instead, I was just like, and there it is, because I have asked Spirit twice in the last week to send me signs for things in 48 hours. I'm like, please send me a sign within 48 hours of what I should do about this or what I should do about that, or if I should move forward with this, if I should, do that. And interestingly enough, last night, we found this really, really, really cool old vintage stove, a wood stove. And we talked about gutting the RV completely and just making it our own and making it like a cool little house on wheels. And before I was excited about it, but then lately I started to like freak out and I was like, no, I want a house. Like, I want these ceilings. I want this. We deserve this. We worked hard for this. We're going to buy this house. We're going to buy this land. We're going to do this. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. But I don't believe it's meant to be. And it's interesting because one of my soul sisters she is going to be up here in April. And I was like, that's really cool that you guys, hopefully we'll be here and you guys can come stay here. And it was just really interesting that I was like, oh, yeah, we get to stay longer. And I don't know, there was just something inside of me that's like, I love it here, but I don't feel like we belong here. When we were over in Port Townsend over the weekend, I was like, I just felt such a kinship there. And I don't feel like I'm meant to be there for a long time, but I've kept, every time I go to Port Townsend, I see me working there. And I said to Alder, I go, I feel like I'm meant to have like some summer job or something, like working at the crystal shop or doing readings at the crystal shop or something. Or who knows, maybe just going back to fucking being a wardrobe stylist. I love that. I miss it. Um, you know, and it's just like all of a sudden I get this message from him and I was like, I swear to you guys, like, and I'm so real. I, I thought I would react differently, but I didn't. I was like, woo! I was like, I'm free. I'm like, we're free. I don't know where we're going. I don't know what's going to happen, but I really do trust spirit. And I feel like this whole story of why I told you guys is because I feel like these readings are about control. And I feel like these are going to be messages from spirit. And reading 1, Mind Body Makeover, reading 2, Self Care Oracle, and reading 3, The Witch's Wisdom. I feel like each of these decks are going to illuminate for us whatever it is that you need to see or I need to see. Sometimes the readings apply to me too. To illuminate our path and to release control. Oh, I forgot to tell my friend this the other day, but because they're like, oh, I pulled a card and it said surrender. And I'm like, that's fucking crazy. Because earlier that day, I asked spirit to send me a sign and fucking Cheap Trick comes on the radio, surrender. I'm like, come on. And then I started to think about being back in the RV and I was like, you know what? I'm like, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay with it. I don't know why, but something shifted and something changed. And I think I've been trying to be this like perfect version of myself, or I don't know what the fuck I've been trying to be, but I was what I was when I was meant to be what I was. But I feel like I need to explore my gypsy side further. Years ago I got this gypsy tattoo. Oh, yay. Okay, we're going to talk about that. I got this gypsy tattoo and it says heart of an artist, soul of a gypsy. And I put it on my arm because at that time I'd moved, I'd lived in 4 states and moved, I don't know, 20 plus times. And I was like, I just need to find roots. I just want to settle down. And it's interesting because I feel like I have this longing to settle down, yet I feel like spirit. Ooh, when I looked up, it was 28. That's the day my dad was born and died. That's my partner's birthday, and it's our landlord's birthday because he has the same birthday as my dad. Yeah. So, and and Papa Bear, right? Because we've learned our lessons. It's time for us to get out of the fucking nest. Like everything's good, And because Papa Bear, Jolly, our landlord, he wanted to help us. He wanted to give us so much, but we wanted to help him and give him so much, and we did. And it's like they say, bring in the medicine, taking the medicine, and we did everything we were meant to do. And it was really cute because he was like, if you guys have nowhere to go, you can always move with me, because he's like, Alder, you're a really handy guy to have around. And he said for me, he loves my company and stuff. So there's just, I don't know what the future holds. I mean, if that's what's going to happen, I would be like, wow, but who knows? I mean, I've been wanting to do music again. Maybe I'm meant to go to Nashville. Who fucking knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? That's what the beauty of this is that they want us to enjoy our lives and have fun, but we've put in this very rigid, frigid, things in our minds and our souls about who we are and who we should be, or who we were told we are and who we should be, But it's like, I feel like now that we know what's going on, just let them fucking navigate. Let them show us the way, because they're trying to. I cannot see too far ahead, and I don't know what's going on. It doesn't feel like I'm blocking it myself. I feel like they are purposely blocking me, and I think that's why I haven't been doing as many readings either, because I've been working so much on my own shit. And I really had to make peace with a lot of stuff. And I realized we're never going to stop healing these wounds. We're just going to look at them differently. We're just going to, they're going to work through differently. But of course, we can't just delete our past. Our past has made us to who we are today. I mean, the ancestors show us that. And I think that's what I was trying to do, is I was trying to delete my past, and I'm like, no, I need to just renegotiate my energy and my feelings around my past so that I can use them as a tool in my present and to move forward into the future. And they want us to be so fucking present. I mean, I was trying to pull cards, asking Baba. I mean, I was getting so psycho. I'm like, Baba, blink once. I'm not fucking kidding you. This happened last night. I'm like, Baba, blink once if we should take the cottage. I'm like, you know what I mean? And she looks at me and she goes, she doesn't blink. She just gives me the like, stop, like just stop. I started using my own deck, and Spirit actually had me put cards into my own Oracle deck that I created that says stop. And then there's stop in the name of love. And then there's stop, please stop now, And so I was getting that from Spirit. It was just really, 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 really fucking funny. Anyway, I've loved this place. I've loved this journey. Holy shit. While I'm talking to you, I think that's an eagle. It's either an eagle or a raven, because it's kind of far and it's high up. And but I think it's an eagle. So work with the eagle spirit medicine, for they are the great spirit after all. Whew. So Anna might be moving too. Thank you. That's very cool. Good for you, Anna. Good for you. I want to say so much, but I want to put your stuff out there. Okay. And thank you with my tattoo. And thank you. All right. So thank you. Welcome everybody. When I looked up the way the numbers came up, it was 13. It was also into the number 31, which is the mirror of 13, which is the divine feminine. And I want to say this too before we start the readings. The fakery and fuckery is getting so strong, you guys. It's out of control. Who the fuck cares what happens between people? If you're watching readings to see what's going to happen between Travis and Taylor, you have to fucking ask yourself why. Number one, you care. And number two, why? Like, because I care. Like, I love fucking Taylor. I love this. Like, I love like that she's having that. I love all this, right? But if it fucking blows up in their face, or they get married and have 30 babies, it's really none of our business. It's just fun to watch it. What it is, sure, right? Like, it's out there for whatever reason, it's out there. But I've been seeing so much fake people who are doing readings and doing so. Please, this is no judgment. This is fucking soul knowledge. I am telling you with everything that I believe I am, and every gift that I have been given by Spirit, every fucking thing that I do, it is to be as authentic as I possibly can. So do I love the story? Yes, I've been following it. Of course, she's my birthday sister. I'm like, I have a lot of theories, but what I can tell you now is all the dimensions are bleeding into each other, and all the versions of ourselves from all of our lives are bleeding into each other. So who are we? Who fucking knows? Who are you today? Who will you be tomorrow? Who knows? But just be in the flow of who you are in the moment and stay in the present. I love readings. Hello, I'm doing readings right now, but the readings that I feel like Spirit is pulling me more to do is just shit you need to hear right now. So to me, it's like you're just going to a therapist. It's like I'm just the in between you and Spirit to get the fucking medicine that you need right now to help you. Maybe you're stuck. Maybe you need this. Maybe you need that. Who knows? But there is something really major that's happening, and I'm seeing it, and it's an election year, so it's only going to get more gross. I saw some really horrible information that I didn't even mean to see, but it came into my orbit. Oh, you're welcome. I love you too, Anna. You are most welcome. Thank you for your energy. But I saw something really unnerving today, and something that I'm pretty sure is illegal that happened with a past president trying to be president again. I'm just going to leave it there because I don't want to bring anger, because that's, it's just my own feelings of it. It's my warrior that sees the fakery and the fuckery and wants to be like, dude, just come on, man. I know you got a good heart in there. Can't you just fucking be that? Can't you just be that? But I'm working on that. Because control, micromanaging. Have you guys been micromanaging? I've been micromanaging, doing all these little things because it's all happening, and there's nothing we can do. We just have to either participate, hold space, or get the fuck out of the way, right? Like, that's really what we're doing right now. That's what's happening. So with that being said, I'm being pushed to go into reading number 1. So at 34:48, I sent you, oh yes. Yay, I know. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Anna said she sent me a gift. Hopefully I'll get it soon. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. Alder's been wanting to get a P.O. box, but now that we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know where we're gonna end up. I don't know what's gonna happen. But you know what's really cool about this? I'll have to kind of stunt reading one to go a little bit because they don't, if they weren't listening to what I was saying, then they won't know. But what I was going to say is the exciting part about this is I go, it doesn't feel, I feel like wherever we're going to be by April 1st and through the 4/4 portal is where we're going to be for a minute, or like where we're, so it would make sense that we're going to be in our home, that we can move around, so that we can have the comfort of home, because that's what I feel like we've been missing, is the comfort of home. And I think as light workers, we're feeling that too, right? Especially a lot of us, like I feel orphaned. Like I don't know if I'll ever talk to my blood and bone family again. I don't know, but I know that right now I cannot. I know that I had to make peace with letting certain things go and move forward. So if you're going through something similar, just don't ignore it. Go with the flow of it. Don't fight it. Just keep going with the flow of it, because there's so much that's happening, and it's happening like, it's like everything's like simultaneous, and they're going to keep throwing shit at us. So people are like, I don't know what to do. And because if people get too spun out, they're not grounded and they're not in their, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I said to Alder. I was getting unglued. I was feeling really, really good. I spent like a few weeks like at home where I didn't even leave the property. And then all of a sudden, hi, Lori. How did you know what, Lori? I love you so much. I have so many things. I've taken pictures and video and all this stuff. And I just, honestly, I just, you know me, dude. Like, I just needed space. You know how that is. It's like when I'm going through stuff, once I'm there, it's like I need time and space to process it. And I know your candle was beautiful. I actually did a whole video that a releasing of it that I wasn't sure if I was going to share with the tribe or just you, but they haven't had me do anything with it yet, so you'll see it. And I talk about you and your candle, and it's all awesome. Lori made me this beautiful candle for the ceremony that I was talking about. I'm feeling this nervous, anxious energy, you guys, so just chill. Yeah, so, all right, let's really get into reading one now, because that kind of threw me off my game a little bit, but let's have some water and take a break. And get grounded. Let's get grounded before we start reading one. That feels better. I can't pause this, you guys, so it's going to be kind of like a, oh, Anna said, lovely. Yes, the candle is. It's so beautiful. I took so many pictures of it, Lori, because it was really cool, and just like, yeah, there's just so much to say. So anyway, so reading one, you guys, reading one. And I know that you two are, out of all of my people, you guys, I know, watch almost all the readings through. So yeah, feel free to, engage when you want to. If I don't respond right away, it's because I'm channeling with spirit, or if my eyes are closed or whatever, but I'll try and look at it. Okay. So now I'm going to say, all right. All of these just flew. That one flew far away. So I'm just going to take these. Okay. Oh my gosh. Healthy body too. This is so interesting. Okay. So you know how I just did that series of like on the shorts? I did like 1, 2, and 3. And the third one was this one, and they had me do the Beyonce Texas Hold'em. I was like, what does this song have to do with anything? Like, I do what they tell me to do. You know what I mean? A lot of times when I'm starting to upload a reading, a song starts playing, or the song starts playing while I'm shooting it or taking a picture of it, whatever. But the Texas Hold'em was playing over and over in my head. So I was like, I guess it was probably to bring, someone to this channel to see a reading or whatever. It's the breadcrumbs. What I really realized is that we are all messengers and prophets. And if you found yourself here, you're a messenger and a prophet. Anna, we've talked about this. Lori, you've talked about this. Lori says, hi, Anna. You guys say hi to each other. I don't know if you guys can see in your things below. I don't know what it looks like, because you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it's like, it's like Lori works, you know, in a place where she's around people all the time and where people are sick and healing, you know, but also dying. You know, it's a very interesting energy. So she brings her gifts and her, you know, stuff there. It's like she's bringing the medicine. You know, lately I've been getting this vibe that spirit wants us all to get like super uber healthy. But what I was doing was taking out certain foods because I'm like, oh, we should never eat processed foods and we should only be eating whole foods. And I feel like I've been trying to do this all or nothing. It's part of my control thing. So I don't know if you guys are dealing with this too, reading one. Um, but the control is from fear. It's from whatever the fear is for you, whether it's lack of love, lack of food, lack of a roof over your head, lack of gas in the car, whatever it is. But it comes from lack. And one of my addictions that started when I was a child was food. It was very comforting to me. I went from being in a house of 5 people, myself included, 5 of us, to my parents got divorced. And then bam, it was just me, my mom, and my sister in an apartment. But my mom was off with her boyfriend. My sister was off with her boyfriend. And I was by myself. And I'm like, hello, I'm 12. I'm 12. I have to raise myself? What? So thank you, Lori. It's like I really got to go through and connect the dots of, and because I was like, why am I talking about all of this, or why is this coming up? And now over the last few weeks, that's all I've been doing is connecting the dots of like what in this part of my childhood is affecting me in my adult life now. What do I need to let go of, you know? And so I feel like since this reading, this is like a general message, like what you need to hear right now, but it really is stemmed around control. And a lot of people have control issues for various reasons, and spirit is trying to show us that that's a learned, programmed, wired behavior from our parents, their parents, you know, to be the best, do the best, have the best, you know, this kind of thing. This fear of what's going to happen if you don't have food, what's going to, and it's like, but it wasn't like that, right? Like people stayed together in community. They had families, tribes, whatever it was, but we took care of each other. It takes a village, right, to raise a child. So I ended up being raised by this family, that family. All these people helped raise me. And it's taken me a lot of time to realize, you know, my parents were 17 and 18 when they had my sister, and then my brother, and then me. And they had me when they were, you know, 21 and 22. Still fucking babies, man. They didn't even get to be who they wanted to be, or they didn't even have time to figure out who they wanted to be, you know? So it was a very, you know, scary time for them. And very interesting that the families that I ended up staying with were older parents. They were more like my grandparents' age, you know? So I realized that I started to seek wisdom as a child because I didn't understand certain things. And I feel like for you guys, like you've always known you were special. You've always known you were different. That's what I've been realizing over the last few weeks, like how these situations, all the same kind of situations have happened to me all throughout my life. And how my body, ooh, Alder just texted me time, 11:11. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my gosh, he's gonna love that. That's so cool. That's so cool, right? Like, because we're all connected. We need each other. We need community. We're not meant to just go live off on our own and you know, whatever. It's like, yes, there's time to be alone. And yes, I have relished my alone time. Do not get me wrong. I have been single many times, lived alone, loved it, you know, but there's also a time when we need each other. So I'm hearing from spirit, this healthy body too. It says, now these cards, the mind body makeover deck, I am being pulled to take screenshots of these cards. I really, really read from this book because they're so self-explanatory. But I'm really getting a pull to do that. So look in the community section. It'll either be in this community section or Lula's Life. They've been having me kind of like, because I feel like they're trying to lace it up, you know? Very interesting. They're having me pull more spirit work over back to the magical medium, and they're having me do more fun acting and singing and fun stuff with Bubba on Lula's Life. It's like they're kind of pulling it back, you know, a little bit. I feel like this whole year is going to be an interesting experience like that. For all of us, where we're going to start seeing our lives like pushing and prodding and pulling, and our bodies are reacting. We need to have the healthy avatar. You know, my food, my connection to it was calmness and safety and comfort. And I was like, I need to channel that into being able to do that without, to feel absolutely positively, as my old shaman used to say, satiated in my blood and my bones, to feel that power. Yeah, that's Baba. Yeah, that is Baba behind me. Oh, thank you so much, Anna. She said Alder and I are great, and she asked if that was Baba behind me. Yeah, she's on the couch. She's laying on the angel blanket. Lori slept there. Lori slept right there. Anyway, but yeah, it's about getting this reprise, if so to speak, of our bodies, of our minds, of our souls, bringing the collective pieces of ourselves from other lifetimes like back into one. That is what they're doing. They're like solidifying us back into one, you know? Um, and so, I would suggest, if you can, to take as much time alone as possible and really get out in nature and ground, get connected to water, go by running water if you can, a river, a stream, the ocean. I mean, lakes and ponds are great. It just depends. I mean, certain stagnant water, unless you're drawn to it, because stagnant water has a purpose too, right? Like there's something there. There's a stagnation that, like, maybe you'll see a reflection of your stagnation there. I mean, water is so powerful, and we're in Pisces season. By the way, have you guys been crying? Because I've been fucking crying. I mean, Lori. Oh my gosh. So I cried so much before Lori came to visit. And then I cried my eyes out when she was here. And then, like, the last few weeks, it's like, I mean, even on Saturday when we were going to look at this, cottage, Alder just said the wrong thing to me. And I just started crying. And I was like, why are you being such a bully? And he's like, oh my God. Like, I could tell he was like, what is going on? So lean into that. Lean into the Pisces season. Yes, Anna too. Lean into it, because that is a cleansing of our minds and our bodies and our souls. It is a pure fucking cleansing. Okay, so in these cards, they really are talking about our ego. So one side is what our higher self is telling us, and the other side is what our shadow ego is telling us. So the shadow ego is saying, my hormones aren't stable. My lower back is my weakness. So interestingly enough, I had a whole reading that I was going to do in that little short. So when they wanted me to do the Beyonce thing, I was like, oh, okay. Do you want me to put words on the screen? They're like, no. I'm like, okay. They're like, leave it to interpretation. So I thought it was interesting because in the healthy section, it says, my relationships are true partnerships. I give as much as I get back. I am able to give birth to my creativity in a way in which I get a healthy level of recognition and compensation. But interesting, like, because to me, I'm like, how does this really go together? My hormones aren't stable, recognition and compensation. But if for some of you, I started to feel like, whether you still get your moon, your period, or whether you are in menopause, whether, you are perimenopause, past menopause, whatever, if you are a woman and you were born with, a uterus and you have periods, it's such and for our divine masculines, I hope you're okay to hold space for this. It's just part of our avatar. And, because I feel like we have it because we're the baby makers, right? Like, we chose to have a child or not have a child, right? Like, or there's some people who cannot carry their own child. Like I remember one time I said to Spirit, I'm like, why did I go through all of this periods and all of this crap if I was never even going to have a child? It just seems like some fucking torture or abuse, but it's what I chose. It's the path I chose, because I did get pregnant and then I lost a child. You know what I mean? It's like, so there are all these things. I know I've been a mother before. I can feel it when I'm around children. I can feel, and watching how our lives are all bleeding into each other, it's no wonder that our bodies are having such a rough time right now, because we're going through so many different things. And on top of that, we have hormones, right? We have hormones that are like driving our energy this way, that way, spiking this way. You know what I mean? That's going to change the trajectory of our relationships and our true partnerships. It's going to change how our fights are. How, like I said, Alder and I got, and he didn't navigate the fight in the way that would have probably been more helpful. And then afterwards, he was so sweet. Oh, thank you, Anna. She says I have the mother essence. I feel it. But afterwards, it was so cute. He was like, "I'm so sorry, baby." Like he was just so genuine and real. And he was like, "I'm so sorry I didn't handle it better. I see now what's happening." And I said, "Yeah." I go, "I don't know." I was like shaking. It was before it was on our way to see this possible new house, and I just started to feel this like I couldn't explain it. And I was like, I feel sick to my stomach, and I wanted to throw up, and it was just really bizarre. But I realized that it's like my even though I'm post menopause, but I still have issues, right? Plus I'm an empath. Plus we're in Pisces season. It's like I could be as grounded as fuck, but I mean, there's still shit, right? Right? Yeah, Anna's saying she's feeling this card, right? So, and I give as much as I get back. I feel like that's connected to my lower back and my weakness. So if you're like feeling weak or if you're having lower back issues, usually it's because that's your body telling you you're straining your body too much for more than it can handle at this time. Every single time of the year is different. Right now, in real time, it's March 4th, 2024. And in real time, it's the end of winter in the Northern Hemisphere. It's that time where it's like spring's almost here, but it's not here yet. Like I saw a snow forecast the other day and I was like, really? But they always got to squeeze out that last little, whatever. But, it's like everything happens in divine timing. And if we keep pushing our minds and our bodies and our souls, and we don't allow the mind body makeover to happen, then we're going to keep bumping into the walls and we're going to keep feeling pain and we're going to keep feeling, the suffering. So, I'm not saying that if you go the right path, it's, you're out of the woods, you're out of the, from the Wizard of Oz, they're like, na da da da. It's like, yeah, but at the same time, life is ebbs and flows, man. The water shows us that. Everything, every element shows us a form of ebb and flow, right? So it's like the fire's high, it's in embers, right? The water, the waves are high, calm, placid lake, right? It's like we are here to learn about ourselves and our avatar. And if you chose to be on this planet at this time, you are a great healer and you're a great teacher. You're here for a reason. And I'm just here to be your fellow, light worker, sister, brother, friend, whatever you need, mother, father, like whatever you need, like we're here to help each other through this. This is a time that is beyond anything we can ever understand. And the people that were in my life that were where I felt, it wasn't just that they were making me feel a certain way. Nobody can make me feel anything but myself. But I didn't like the fact that I had to constantly fight an energy of what people think I am and think that this is fake and like what they knew of me before is real. And I'm like, no, this is real. That was fake. What you know of me, and it's not really fake. That's just who I was at that time. But I was definitely a chameleon trying to feed into what they needed me to be. And it made me very sick. I had a lot of problems with my feet. I had a lot of problems with my back. I would blame it on doing gymnastics and cheerleading for almost a decade of my childhood. So, but I mean, I have different, even this place, like my ankles and my knees walking on the hardwood floor, even in slippers or whatever. I was like, this place is like fucking up my body, like I don't feel like myself. And so, if you are not feeling right in your skin right now, that's just because you're going through a massive transformation. Just lean into it. I've been feeling nauseous for days, like oddly nauseous, like in a really, like I can't explain it. It doesn't feel like food. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, what's going on? It's like, I feel like my body's already gearing up for what's going to be coming. So if we turn away from it and not look at it head on, it's going to come for us one way or the other. So if you're having pains and issues in your body, that is your higher self telling you, something's not right, or you're in a change and transformation, and just let it flow. Don't try to control it. If your body's like, I don't fucking want a Snickers bar, don't eat that. If your body's like, oh, I'm craving some fresh, organic, blueberries. I just say organic because in America, I don't know if all countries use pesticides, but organic is pesticide free. So, well, you know what I'm talking about, like the chemical shit. And nowadays, who knows what is what anymore? Everything's like blending together. Even that shit, farms could be organic forever. And then, the airs and the pollens and, the bees, it's like, well, you think the bees are, well, although I do believe that there are certain pollinators. There's some people believe that there are bees that are actually like little robots that help pollinate like the GMOs. I mean, I don't know. It could happen. Who fucking knows? I don't know. I believe if this is possible, then anything's possible, right? Like everything's possible. So who knows? But anyway, there's definitely a connection to this healthy body too. The fact that it came out, those first two readings in those shorts, part 1 and part 2, I actually did like a year ago for another pick a reading. And then they told me to do a part 3 and to find this card. And then when I was finding this card, they had me pull some other cards. And I was like, okay, you know what I mean? I'm like, where are you going with this? What's going on? And then I started to understand what Spirit was doing. And they were showing me that like they wanted me to use these decks again because they're valid. And I think before I used the decks per reading, like all the decks per reading. Instead, it's like we're just doing one deck, one reading, one. So let's see if they have any more messages. But yeah, there was a lot in there. There was a lot going on. But giving birth to the creativity, let the springtime really feed your soul. Hold on. By the way, I noticed recently that the burn mark in my hat is in the shape of a heart. Of course it is. I love Spirit. Okay, so the next one is Healthy Love 5. And if they have me put them in, I'll do pictures, like I said, in the community section. Hold on, I want to make sure you guys can see me. Okay. So I'm going to read the shadow side first. So this, when I say shadow or when I say the ego, in this particular deck, the energy I get is that it's like, this is like the bad self-talk, we're giving ourselves, and then like the good self-talk. So this is like our brain saying, if I love someone, it means that it becomes harder for me to speak my mind, especially if I'm angry. So are some of you having a hard time? Ooh, my throat chakra just got clogged, and I balanced my chakras this morning, and I did a pre-thing for you guys. So feel free to just say, yes, I accept this healing energy because I sent you guys a nice healing. But yeah, so something's going on. Somebody's not speaking their truth. What's going on? What are you not saying? Especially if I'm angry. Well, you know what? You can speak. Here's the thing. This is an issue I've been dealing with as a triple fire and my moon in Scorpio. When like I'm cool as a fucking cucumber until it gets to a certain point, and if I feel like I have to say the same thing over and over and over again, and I feel like I'm bashing my fucking head against a wall, I will explode in anger. And it's something I'm working on and I'm getting much better at. I'm actually really proud of myself. And Alder's been saying that too lately. Like I try to, and I don't want to be whiny about it either. Cause it's like, I was either angry. I was like, that really hurt, and I'm like, okay. And there's a time and a place for everything. But then there's also like two adults coming together and saying, listen, I'm really upset. You made me angry, and I should be able to express my anger with you, towards you. It's like, it's kind of that thing. If someone dishes it out, then they should be able to take it. And if they can't, then that's a huge sign, telling you that they are not mentally, emotionally, whatever it is, prepared to have that conversation with you. So it's probably a good time to just walk away before it escalates into something even worse. Oh gosh, Anna. Well, here's the thing. Anna was saying that she had a big, looks like a disagreement with her partner and speaking her truth, and then she might have to move out tomorrow. Well, but you know what the good news is with that, Anna? You have places to go. At least you have somewhere to go. And I know that that's not a super, whatever. I know Anna personally, so I know that. But even if you didn't, Spirit will light the way for you. Or he can't I don't know what the rules and the laws are there or whatever, but sometimes people are just working through shit. And if you've lived somewhere long enough, it takes a minute to get somebody out. Yes, this morning I woke up with a scratchy voice for no reason. Oh, hi, Diane. Welcome, Diane. Yes, right. So I woke up with a scratchy voice too. I really think there's something to do with that. Also, allergies are kind of really big right now. As I'm talking to you guys, I saw those planes that go by that like leave like the crap, and I'm like, ew, so who knows what the fuck they're doing to us? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. You have to be as grounded and real as you can right now and with yourself, because there's going to be a lot of real and a lot of woo woo, but not the woo woo that's us. You know what I mean? It's going to be this like, they're like, there's just so much magic going on the planet right now. It's like this like kind of fight. And the more I've been loving my demons and like sinking into my darkness, the more happy I've been. Our demons are there to protect us too, and our demons are there to help us. It's not just like, oh, it's a demon, I'm scared. And I mean, it's taken me years to realize that. And just in the last month, that's what I realized what it was, is that I wasn't loving my demons. I wasn't the Ina the Dark Witch and like all these other things just kept bombarding me no matter where I was. Even if I don't fucking subscribe to them, they were just coming for me. And I kept seeing this thing that Lucifer is your guardian demon. Lucifer is your guardian demon. And I was like, okay, I get it. And and I've always said that I always felt like Lucifer got a bad rap and I couldn't explain it, but I felt like, he was just doing his job and blah, blah. Anyway, so that's what I mean. There are forces that are happening right now. They want you to be like, look at the monkey. And it's like, we have to sift through and fucking swim through the bullshit as much as we possibly can and just be like, okay, I am grounded, I am centered. That's why they've been pushing for us to get to know who we are in our blood and our bone, and collecting all the soul retrieval, not just this lifetime, but other lifetimes, to say, oh, okay, that's why I'm afraid of fire. I burned at the stake like 5 times. Okay, fine. And being able to say it like that and not being like, I was burned at the stake. And I remember, because you're going to have those fucking moments. That's fucking normal, man. Like I don't know why I'm swearing so much, but because it's normal. That's normal. Like whatever normal is, like that's part of our evolutionary awakening process, is to look at every facet of it and every emotion so that we can sift through that emotion and work through it. That's how we have the healthy body and mind. That's how we're going to make over our body and our mind and our souls, is by looking at it, working through it, and then being able to look at it, really look at it, and not get too emotionally attached to it. I realized, like, when we went to look at this place over the weekend, I was getting so emotionally attached because, truthfully, as much as I love my husband and Baba, I was like, yeah, we would have a blast there, and the rooms were cool, and the way that they were separated, it was like seriously, it was like an adult Barbie dollhouse. Like, after I just saw Barbie, I'm like, dude, this is kind of tripping me out. But it was so fucking cute, and it had so many cool things. But the truth is, I was like, I feel like I would have liked to live there by myself at some point, like years, many moons ago, but it's not my path now. And it was almost like I was making peace with that, and then like asked our landlord for help, and then he was like, okay. And then he came up to me today and was just like, hey, you know what, I tried, but it's not going to work out. I'm so sorry, you guys do have to move by this day. And I actually, that sits right with me, and I was like, you know what, everything feels good, I feel good. And all of a sudden it was just like everything faded away. And I'm sure we'll have this and that, and of course we're going to have more lessons, but I just realized that, like, it's by accepting all of the parts of us. It was almost like I felt this shame too, like, why couldn't I make this house happen? Why couldn't I make this fucking land happen? And Spirit wasn't saying that we jump timelines, because I spoke about it in the reading for the tribe before this reading. But it wasn't like they were saying, like, you fucked up, you jumped timelines. They were just like, no, you jump timelines to kind of see what your future is, but you still have work to do, and you still have this to do and that to do, but you're going to get here. And we wanted you to have a magical winter. We wanted you to have, this time. But the whole time I was like, even though we kept fighting for this, I'm like, I can't fight anymore. Same thing, Diane. Like, my throat was hurting this morning. And that's why I hadn't like done like a real like Reiki on myself in a few days or weeks. I think it's been now. I'm always like channeling spirit and like pulling in the healing energy or working on other people, but like really laying down and concentrating on my chakras. I used to do that every day. And I realized I'd gotten out of the habit. So if this is for all of us, this is a mind body makeover. It's time for us to get very real about our purpose, our pleasures, what we need, what we want, and really like pulling them apart of needs and wants. And since you came on and shared with us, Anna, I don't want to I never want to tell somebody or shift any type of, this is your paradigm. But I will say this. I feel like this has been a long time coming, and I really do feel like you are meant to be alone, not forever. And he may change, he may grow, he may, I mean honestly, Alder and I, it's coming up on 9 years in May. And how many times have we broken up and gotten back together? But I just always felt like, but it's like either he really is that person that you're meant to be with now, and you guys need to part so you can get a shit together and you come back together, or he's a part of your past that you need to let go and be like, oh my God, that was another lifetime. We brought it into this lifetime. I need to go do my work now. That's happened to me. I've likened your relationship to my past relationship with this guy that I was with for years. And oh my God, I was crazy, 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 like psycho. Like I would say to people, I'm like, you don't understand what we have. You don't understand. And, and it was, but it was from another lifetime. And we'd been together over many lifetimes. And we had this very like movie like romance, and everything was magical. And he's the guy that we were walking down the street in Chicago on a beautiful Saturday night, like enjoying everything, and the lights were going, and then it started to rain and music poured out of one of the stores, and I was like, oh my gosh, and he's like, no, let's dance in the rain, and we danced in the rain. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's the kind of relationship we had. But on the surface, it was like this magical, our sex was like, we'd look in each other's eyes and start crying, and like the best orgasms of my life, right? However, he was an addict. So, it's like we in this lifetime, I'm an addict too, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, like, he had a hidden life that I didn't know about. I knew something was up, but I didn't want to know. I wanted to stay in the fucking bubble. I wanted to stay in the bubble of the romance and leaving notes in my car, and leaving presents in my car, and taking me out on surprise dinners, and just the romance. And the sex was like, at that time, was like the most phenomenal sex of my life. So it's like I kept, and I hung on to him. Even we were together for 3 years. We called off the engagement. And for years after that, we hung on to each other. We lived in different states, but we just like clung on to each other until I was like, snip, 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 we have to let go, because I needed to be with Alder. And there was a time where Alder and I were together, and we were having a lot of trouble. We'd only been together for like a year and a half. And that guy came back into my life. His mother had passed. He had this huge inheritance, a lot of money that would change our lives, and we can just go start our lives. And he's like, I'm here, baby, let's do it, And I was like, oh my God, for 10 years, that's what I wanted. Not that I loved his mom, hi, Naomi. But, it was just all of a sudden, I'm like, I can't. I knew I had to stay with Alder, and I knew the road was going to be hard. And I knew that, you know what I mean? So all of our paths are different. All I'm saying is that, like, sometimes we hold on to something or someone because they feel so comfortable or so familiar. But this whole year is step out of your comfort zone. When they had me do the Beyonce, the first one I wrote was, I was like, I think I said something like, motherfucking leave it to Beyonce stepping out of her motherfucking comfort zone, and then I come to find out, like, this backstory and how she always wanted to do country, and she was kind of shunned by the country industry, and blah blah blah, and she's from Texas. And so interesting, right? So there's just all of these things that are happening right now. It's like, that's what I put. I go, Beyonce done flip the motherfucking script, is what I said, right? Because like all of a sudden she's like, move out, I'm coming in. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Beyonce, and if I want to do country, I'm gonna do country. Because it doesn't matter. Maybe she's only going to do country for one album. Maybe she'll do it for the rest of her fucking life. Who knows? But she's like, I'm going to do what I fucking want to do. And that's what we're meant. It's like, but there's also, for some of us, there's a small part where it's an underlining of, we have to keep going and take the blinders off and look all around us all the time, because the signs are everywhere. Also, Diane, if you're still here, I wanted to say, Diane said, you have to combine your light and dark. I get upset with people that say just be positive and eradicate the dark stuff. Some dark stuff is for our greater good. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, like, ever since I have like integrated the demons into my life, it's like I feel more balanced. I feel more like myself. And I said to Spirit today, I'm like, I don't know though. I guess I always have thought I would evolve into this very high light being that like doesn't swear and, dresses, isn't wearing my husband's pajamas because I haven't done laundry and we're going to laundry tomorrow and I have no clothes. You know what I mean? I throw on a vintage top just to like be like, that's me. And of course ISIS and me. And me. But that's the whole point. It's like, I'm not perfect. I'm not fucking, we can only do and be and whatever. It's like we have to live in the moment, be in the moment, man. I saw this thing with Drew Barrymore today, and she said that the best advice her father ever gave her was to be like free and be in the moment. And she said it very eloquently, but she's like, I didn't realize it then, or I think she said I realize it more now. Like, I thought that was cool that my dad was like that. She goes, but now more than ever, she's like, he's right. So this card says, if I love someone, it means that it becomes harder for me to speak my mind, especially if I'm angry, right? Because that's our shadow. Yes, Anna says dark stuff's important, the balance. So the other side of the healthy love, number 5, and what is 5? Change and transformation. And 2 was on our healthy body. 2 is also about, finding the balance, but the duality of light and dark, of shadow and light, right? In a loving relationship, by taking appropriate action and communicating directly, I can transform any troubling situation, problem, or obstacle. Yes. My humble opinion is in my experience, and my opinion, is if you cannot, Dolly Parton always says, if you can't love me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best. And that is the truth. And if you cannot be yourself 100% with your partner, your family, your friends, your boss, whatever it is, if you can't 100% be yourself and let your freak flag fly as often as it needs to, then there is nothing there. It's just old remnants of a past that needs to be gone. And I get the vibe from Spirit that this is the year that it's like shit or get off the pot, sink or swim, whatever fucking thing you want to say, analogy, little cliche. It's true. The dragons only come around once every, right? They go around the zodiac. So, when I looked up, it was 1/11/17. That means a lot to some of our tribe members. We see 17 a lot, which is what's 17? 8. What is 8? 2024. What is 2024 to 2025? It's the year of the dragon. So, by the way, Anna, I meant to tell you that no, the package has not arrived yet, but I did I did alert my landlord to that it is going to come. Okay, so let's see if we have any more messages from the Mind Body Makeover. And like I said, I'm really feeling a pull to put the meanings from the book too. I don't know these people. I don't know this. Like, I don't really read the book. You can tell it looks almost brand new. I've barely opened it. But it must be for somebody. It may be for one of them, might be for all of them. Okay. So I don't know if it's our last card, but our next card is Healthy Joy 7. Now this one they're actually asking me to begin with the healthy medicine. Yes, dragons. Woohoo. As I pursue happiness through my dreams and life purpose, I give birth to the unrealized potential within me, the unlimited splendor of my soul. Yes, because we are limitless. And we have been trained and programmed to believe that we can't do this, or only this person does that, or if they come from money, so they can do that, or I come from nothing. I saw this. I love the American Idol auditions. I like the auditions more than the show. I don't even watch the show that much. I just really like the auditions. I like to see where they start, where they begin, And there was somebody that was on there from, she said, the middle of nowhere, Utah, and less than 1,000 people. And she was so gifted and so talented. And Katy Perry said, this is exactly why we do this show. She's like, because people like you need to know that it doesn't matter where you come from or how much money you have or whatever. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. If you have something to say, or if you have gifts to share with the world, they're going to be seen and they're going to be heard. That's why these talent shows have been created, so that people come out of the woodwork and come out of their shell and, face their truth. That's why I've been singing more on my other channel. It was really interesting. And this is how Spirit speaks to us too. The other day, I had posted this really funny, I was rehearsing and I was practicing my vocals, and Bubba was being really funny. And so I started to, record a video of her, and I didn't know that I was going to put it anywhere, if anywhere, but they had me put it on her channel. Didn't think anything of it, posted it. And that, like a few days later or whatever, I said to Spirit, I don't know, like, is it just for me? Is it just for my own enjoyment? Like, is it just a, or is it like actually something I should do? I just don't even know. I just don't know. And I was like going back and forth with it. And then I said, will you send me a sign in the next 48 hours if I should pursue it at some point as a real career? And I went to go post something on Bubba's channel because I don't go on her channel all the time. It's her channel. So she's like, post something. I'll go post something on her channel. And feel free to like and subscribe and comment and share her channel because she's funny, man. I'm not kidding you. I channel everything she has me say. Like, that's Bubba. Like, that's totally her. That's why we're so connected. She's like, she's my demon, right? My familiar. But somebody commented, I just spit. Somebody commented and said that I had a nice voice. I don't know how, but yeah, Bubba's channel is awesome. One outlet for me because I'm channeling like what Bubba wants me to do, or like set up the whole fucking scenario with the camera, or she'll have me follow her. It's really funny. But yeah, so look for the signs, they're everywhere. Okay, so this says, as I pursue happiness through my dreams and life purpose, I give birth to the unrealized potential within me, the unlimited splendor of my soul. But it's our shadow or our part of our ego that is telling us that we're not good enough, that says, I don't know what my personal dreams and life purpose are. I tend to get my joy through my family and friends. Well, that's beautiful, that you get your joy through your family and friends. But when nobody's there and you're alone by yourself, what brings you joy? What gives you joy? There's this really cool lady. I don't remember her. I think her name is Charlotte Coombs or something. Anyway, I found her through Yona Hinton, and I just love her. And she's like on a farm or something off in Montana. And when I first saw her channel, she like, I feel so blessed to have found her. I was so grateful that that's what we're here for, right? Like the web weavers, to like, show each other this person, that person, to get the medicine from that person and then bring it to another person. Cause you're like, oh wow, I just happened to watch this today, and your friend's crying and you give them the same words of wisdom. Really, really great words of wisdom. And if I remember, I'll put a link below. When I'm doing it live like this, because I live in the mountains, it takes sometimes like a full 24 hours for it to upload, especially because it's an hour and 17 minutes and we still are on reading 1 and we're going to reading 2 and 3. But I never know how long they're going to be. This one I felt like was going to be longer just because, the healthy body, mind, and soul is so important. And to have the healthy body, mind makeover is personal for each of us. Maybe you eat really great and your body feels great, but like you just feel like you're like, what's my purpose? What am I supposed to do? No one can really give you those answers, but it does help to kind of like, ask spirit for signs and breadcrumbs. That's why I do like readings in some ways, because I think they're really helpful. But in other ways, like I was saying at the mass reading for the tribe, I think readings about like what celebrity is going to screw what celebrity, or who's going to marry who or whatever, is so, to me, I don't know how and what purpose. Now that's me judging it, so I apologize. But I just, in my experience on Earth, I don't really understand that. So it would lead me to believe that that is some type of diversion. Because why are you caring so much about other people when you really should be caring about what's going on in your world? I mean, it's a fun diversion, but I'm watching along with my popcorn like the rest of us to see how this relationship unfolds, because it's exploded in front of all of us. And unless you live with no television or under a rock, you know what I mean? The Travis Taylor thing has gone viral, right? It's like, it's out of control. But there's something to be said about wanting to know the personal intentions or lives of other people. There's got to be something to that. So if there is, ask yourself why. No judgment against you, but ask yourself why. Like, why do you care about that? Like, why do you want to follow that? Why do you want to bring that into your orbit? Our bodies are being taxed enough right now with our own personal shit. Why do we want to bring so much other stuff on us? It's like, I like to do more guidance. That's what I've always been, as a spiritual guidance counselor. I'm here to just kind of, bring my life experiences so you can, understand your own, maybe grow from, doing certain things because of things that I went through, and then you did it too, like we were talking about that. I was talking about that with one of my soul sisters yesterday. She's like, I'm really grateful, for watching your experience, in Big Camper, and then in the RV, and then in this house. And I'm like, yeah, it's definitely been an interesting experience, but it also, it's to show people like resilience, and that everything happens for a reason, even if we can't understand it at the time. Everything happens for a reason. Everything. So let's see. Do we have any more? There's a few that the ones that flew on the floor and skidded across the wood floor over there. I feel like are meant to be shorts because these are really great cards. They do give us a lot of insight. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this one says, so one of the most important parts of a loving relationship is that someone gives me what I need. When I love someone, they are my better half. They complete me. Interesting. So, what's really interesting about this is that when we are in a relationship with anyone, we are there to, we bring this and they bring this and then we share and life is good and we are still our own entities. But when we combine our lives or share our lives, and they're intertwined and, whatever, it's a lot harder to detangle them, right? I mean, I've been divorced, I've been engaged and lived with, I think at this point, 4 or 5 men, and had to do that. I mean, the worst was my marriage because I was with him for almost 10 years. So we had to like separate CDs and like all that back when you still had CDs, all that shit. And it reminded me of that scene when Harry met Sally, when they're like, you know, they're watching their friends move in together and they're like, are we going to, fight over this someday? Are we going to blah, blah, blah. Oh, bye, Lori. Have a blessed day. Thank you for being here. And thank you for bringing the medicine. And I promise I'll get back to you at some point. I promise. But yeah, and it's like, and there's just this scene where Billy Crystal's like, am I gonna have to do this? Am I gonna have to do that? Am I gonna, are we gonna break up someday and fight over this stupid thing? And he's like, and she was just like, whoa, 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 like what's going on? Like, what, why are you getting upset? And it's a very real thing, And so Anna, since I feel like you're the last one here right now, I don't take that lightly when I say that to you guys, that you have to pull apart. You have to, what was interesting was that we've come full circle with our landlord, and I had a nice little dinner party for him the other night because he shares my dad's birthday as well. And I just felt like I really wanted to do something special for him and just for everything he's done for us. And it was really, really nice, actually. And there was this moment where I felt like, I remember when we first met and it was like that. And then over the years, we've had like, oh, hi, Diane, you're still here. Okay, hi, Diane. You know what, you guys, it says that there's no one watching. So no offense. I'm so sorry. Thank you. And Diane, thank you for your medicine earlier. That was really powerful. But, it's just, I started to like realize, yeah, this thing is so weird. I can't tell. I mean, they say that also people can come in here on incognito. And so it could be that too. But yeah, and I started to realize like how grateful I was that we've had this like full circle moment with him, and we've learned so much, we've brought so much, we've just all the lessons that have been learned. And I think it's interesting that I'm wearing the Papa Bear today because honestly, the last place we lived before him was almost 5 years with Sarah, and she was divine feminine, but she was the divine feminine embodied, but she was very masculine and very hard. And she, it's like sometimes, I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Sybil, like the old movie Sybil with Sally Field when she's little. Or like, well, it's about her story about the Sybil was a real true. She was the first, I think she was the first multi-personality that they ever did a study on. But anyway, that's kind of how she was. It was a little freaky deaky. I'm not going to lie. Like there were days and there were times where I was like, she just wanted to make me cry. I'm like, she's mean. I'm like, she's kind of dark and evil, man. But it helped me. It helped me grow, and it helped me to not be so sensitive about certain things and to realize that that had nothing to do with me. Because now I can look at it and be like, that makes me more sad that someone feels the need to like take a really sensitive soul like myself and purposely hurt me. And I don't know if you remember this, but do you remember she had that dog that was like my dog and Susie, and I called her Susie Bird. I even like wrote a poem about her and like posted it on my channel and shit because I was like heartbroken because she was there for almost 3 years that we were there. And then she rehomed her, and we were looking for somewhere to live, and we told her that we were looking for somewhere to live, and she and I told her if she ever got rid of Susie that we wanted her, and I felt like she was our dog. She rehomed her and told us that she felt like that's what was best for her. And she wanted her gone, and it would confuse her if we still lived there, and it was all this thing. But she had no sensitivity towards me whatsoever about like how much I loved that dog. And I swear, it's like I could see the flames in her eyes, like getting joy out of my pain. Some people are just like that, and who knows why she's like that or where it comes from, or but sometimes when you are such a bright white light of love and you put that up to somebody, their mirror will just be like, you know what I mean? And it's like they don't want to see that, so they'll just fucking hate on you more, man. They'll just push that shit back. By the way, Anna says bye to Lori. Hi, Diane, and yes, bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the blessing, Anna. So yeah, I mean, we need to be really mindful of like the people we have in our orbit. So this is healthy love number 2, which is again about balance and duality. 4 is, 2 is balance for a two-legged person, right? You're standing on your both legs, both feet, you're standing balanced, right? But it's also the duality of the divine feminine, divine masculine, duality of the shadow and the light. It's like it's everything like going together. So it's important for us to keep the people in our orbit that are for our greatest and highest good and are not there to sabotage us in any way. It's great if they're there to teach us, that's fine. Teachers are great, but you can still have your partner, someone at the grocery store, but you don't have to be in a situation where you're being berated all the time. That's not teaching. That's not a lesson. That's like, you obviously like the torture. Spirit's like, oh, you haven't learned your lesson yet? Well, we'll just keep you in. You're keeping yours, because that's the thing. No one's fucking doing it to us but us. We're keeping ourselves in the torture loop. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, we can blame everything, everyone, whatever, but that's when the accountability comes in. And that's why it's going to be a different place on this planet for a minute. It's going to be, because there's going to be a lot of shit that's going to go down and over the next 3 years. And this year, especially being an election year, there's just a lot in the United States. It's going to be a big deal. So it says, if I cannot get a need met in a relationship, I'm able to get that need satisfied in some other way. I'm a whole person, whether I'm alone or I'm with someone. Yeah. We don't need someone to complete us. It's really cool when people are like, Jerry Maguire, you complete me. Yes, that's awesome. I mean, I feel that way about my spouse, but I've said this to him time and again, and I'll say it over and over. I'm like, I love you, but I love me more. In the words of Samantha Jones from Sex and the City, if I need to take care of me, you have to go. If my self-care is not good, or if someone is like telling me how I should be or what I should do or how whatever, it's like, no. So yeah. So just remember that your better half, let it be you for a while. Let your better half be you. I had a friend, I've told you guys about her before, Vivian, who had a wedding. She married herself, and I didn't understand why she was so mad that I didn't take off work to go to her wedding. And then years later, I understood. And she's like, that was a really big thing for me. It was like symbolic. And it was, and I judged her, and I judged her experience. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to lose money or take off work to do this, whatever. And when you think about that, it's like, that's not really being a good friend, is it? Because I was telling her that I didn't approve of what she was doing. So, and then I like outwardly told her I didn't approve of what she was doing by not showing up for her. And later when I saw the video, I was crying and I was sad, and I'm like, I should have been there. She was a very dear sister to me. We got through a lot of stuff together in this lifetime and others. And I was like, it's a missed opportunity. So anyway, there's that. Let me see. Do we have any more Mind Body Makeover? I felt like that was it. Okay, you guys. So I'm going to, so there's 4 cards here, and I'm going to put the book meaning there too, because there might be some extended messages for you. Okay, so I'm going to put this in here. And I don't know if they want me to pull any more for the other. I don't think so. I don't know what these are for, but let me see. Do you want to pull any more for one? Wait, hold on. Do you want to, oh, maybe we are. Hold on. Do you want to pull any more for one? I'm trying to let it go. Okay, this is the last one they said. I felt like there was one more, but it didn't seem like it was coming. Okay, so living in society, number 5. My unique voice is an authentic part of the life force that needs to be expressed, right? Throat chakra, right? Throat chakra. We were just talking about this. So living in society, 5, change, transformation. What are you going to do now? How are you going to use your voice? How How are you going to take care of your avatar moving forward? When I was talking about it in the mass reading and telling you guys about what's going on with us, whatever, there was this lady that we met when we first moved to the peninsula. Actually, this is a really cool story. I didn't meet her. I was looking through the free section on Craigslist, and she had all these wooden hangers, and I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah, Dad! Fuck yeah, Dad!" Where did that come from? I don't know, but anyway, oh, that was interesting. But I got these wooden hangers from this lady, and she was so nice. We ended up talking on the phone because she didn't text or whatever. She was an older lady, and earlier that week, my husband is a mobile mechanic, and he had done a job for a guy friend's friend. And come to bring it all together, I'm on the phone with her about the hangers, and she says, I said, my husband Alder will be coming by to pick them up. If you can just, email me the address or whatever. And she goes, Alder? Is he a mechanic? I go, yes. And she goes, he was at my house this last week. She's like, is he friends with Casey? I'm like, yes. And she's like, I'm like, that's fucking crazy. Like, what a small world, right? And come to find out that she has land and property. And we're actually going to, anyway, she had offered, I don't know if she's still going to offer it to us, but I'm going to definitely reach out to her. But she had offered for us to live on her property and kind of help her out around there for like a work trade. But it would be off grid. Like if we wanted to have our own space, we'd have to be far back away from the house and but it's interesting. We've been living off grid for almost 2 years as it is now. So very, 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 very interesting. Are we still connected? Okay. Yeah. Let me see. Okay. I'm just making sure. Okay. Um, so you know what I mean? Like it's a small world and you just never, ever, ever, ever know. And if like, you know what I mean? Like if I had just emailed her, I don't know, like I might've just said my husband, but like he was sitting there. So I was like, oh, my husband Alder will be by, blah, blah, blah. I mean, she would have recognized him anyway, but I'm just saying like, you just never know like what your path is. And when I found out earlier before I started this reading that we were going to have to move, I was like, cool. I'm like, now we can gut the RV and we can make it into the way that we wanted to. And I'm like, and I am going to see if we can go back and live on that lady's land, at least until we figure out our next steps. You know what I mean? So it's like you just never, ever, ever, ever know. So you got to speak your truth. You got to ask. You got to ask for what you want. You got to use your voice, for whatever it is. And I just felt this sense of freedom all of a sudden. I was like, and my voice felt free. So anyway, so the shadow side of this is my voice can't be heard. What I have to offer doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Of course it matters. Everything we do matters. You're here for a reason. We are here for a reason. There is no like, oh, this person or that. It's like, again, it's programming from an old world, an outdated world. The universe wants us to succeed. They love us. They love us. They know we're here. This is like a school, right? So like we're here to learn and they want us to do that. Like they want us to learn. They want us to grow. They want us to achieve, to have fun. We're going to have ebbs and flows because we are emotional. People are going to die. People are going to be born, right? Animals are going to die. Animals are going to be born. It's like, things are going to happen, the ebbs and flows of life. Everybody, you know what? Nobody's getting out of here alive. Not in these meat suits, not in these avatars, but we're going to go into another life or another being or another situation or whatever. So enjoy it while you can. Embrace it while you can, and love and bless and look after your avatar as much as you can. It's very important. I can't imagine they want us to go through all these because I'm like, this is a big stack of cards, but I do feel like they had me grab it for something. So, okay, so that's it. They don't want me from down there. I am going to ask Spirit just to make sure. Okay, so we are done with reading 1. Thank you for being here. We love you so much. I am going to jump into reading 2, which we're going to pull cards for the Self-Care Oracle. And then for reading 3, we're going to pull from Witch's Wisdom. So don't try to, the only thing Spirit's saying through their last words for this reading are, if you want to control something, give yourself a schedule. Control in terms of like you wake up in the morning and you're like, I'm going to stretch this morning because that feels good. You wake up in the morning, you're like, I'm hungry. I want some blueberries and oatmeal. You know what I mean? And some maple syrup. That sounds yummy. You know what I mean? Like having a healthy breakfast, treating ourselves. Then the next moment, What am I going to do? What do I feel like doing? Now, obviously, we have jobs and we have places we have to go. But it's even with that, it's like, we're finding more and more that people are aligning to their purpose, and like this old, outdated, like, punching a time clock and, salary. I remember this one time I had a job and I was like, when I found out when I was young and I found out what salary was, I'm like, so basically I'm making probably half of what I should be making because I'm on salary. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like certain jobs make you punch out for a break. They make you punch out for a lunch. You know what I mean? Like they make you punch out so that you have that a lot of time. But when you're on salary, it's like, oh, can you work late tonight? Thank you so much. And like, yeah, your boss might, bring you a latte the next morning or buy you a gift certificate for a dinner, and that's nice and all. But, we're worth our time and our energy. So the world is shifting. But it's also with me, like with my readings, I love doing one-on-one sessions with you guys. But, I do feel like it feels better to do like a donation, like a base, and then like whatever it feels good in the connection, because everything is different. I do these readings, I do these things with you guys because I'm pulled to do it. I want to do it. I feel compelled to do it. It's part of my process. It's part of, I don't know, but also this past winter, I felt the vibe that like we were all meant to really, figure stuff out, so that we can now move forward each breath, each day, moving forward this year, and really align with what is in our divine purpose. And I promise you, if you let go of the control and the preconceived notions, Spirit is going to surprise you and bless you in ways that you had no idea could even happen. So get out of the what ifs and the fears, and and just let your soul be free. Get quiet, get grounded in nature, and you'll know what to do. You'll know what to do when the time comes. All right, I'm gonna hit mute, and then I'm gonna go and take a bathroom break, get some more water, and then I will be back for reading 2. Okay? All right, I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for being here. Take good care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you next time. Okay. Hi, you guys. Oh, this is fun. So we're starting reading 2 now. So we did reading 1. We did a mass reading for the tribe first. Well, it was kind of an update on my life, but also kind of like explaining this reading. So welcome reading 2. These are messages we need to hear from Spirit right now, but it's also about control and how certain things in our lives need to change and progress so that we can, fulfill our purpose. So we did the mind body makeover was reading 1, and because I'm doing it live, you won't be able to see it until I post it, probably tomorrow. But this one for reading 2, we're getting messages from the self-care oracle. Okay, so I apologize. I'm getting downloads already. So whoever's here, welcome. You can make yourself known, not make yourselves known. It's okay. It's totally up to you. There's no pressure whatsoever. But I will say that I've been going for an hour and 40 minutes, and this is the first time that I'm feeling a channeling. So let me make sure. Yeah, we got, okay. Okay. Oh man, you guys are, who is this? Who is this? I'm like, I feel like whoever this is like okay, welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome reading 2. I'm feeling there's a grandmother energy here. She's really, really tiny. I feel like her name's like Millie, or like she's really cute, and I can't tell if she was always tiny, but right now she's kind of tiny and hunched over, and she's got curly hair. It could be her real hair. It could be a wig too. It's almost too perfect. I kind of feel like it's a wig, but she's so cute, and she just could be one of our ancestors too, and just a spirit guide. But she's coming in, and she reminds me of that cartoon that used to have the big dog with the little lady who was blind and the cane. But she's more elegant than that. Sorry, she's more elegant than that. And she's wearing like this really pretty pink dress. I almost feel like she might have been buried in this dress in the wake. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a wake. Not that I see her in it like that. I just feel like this feels like her outfit, or it could have been an outfit she wore a lot when she was alive. And sometimes people will bury someone in their favorite outfit. But it's okay. I mean, that was just her avatar. But she's here, and she's saying hello, and she loves you. She misses you, and she sends you little. I'm seeing pearls. I don't know if it was that she wore white pearls, or she gave you white pearls, or something like that. But this is definitely a grandmother spirit that, and there's something with pearls. So if this doesn't resonate for anybody, then it could just be that we're meant to research and look up pearl spiritual meaning. Feel free, to look that up on your own, or, whatever it means to you, because it's always different for all of us. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling like Millie, and then I heard Margaret. So there's a Margaret here right now. Margaret feels younger, and actually I kind of feel, oh gosh, I'm watching this show called Heartland, and she looks like Lou. She reminds me of the character Lou from Heartland, and she's got dark hair and light eyes, and her outfit's really cool. She's very, like, her fashion is very on point. I feel like this kind of like big, like 70s. It feels like her outfit and her hair is very 70s or late 60s. She has like this kind of big bow shirt, a really, really sharp shirt, and slacks, real pretty. And I'm feeling like maybe they're showing me Lou, because I'm feeling like this kind of somebody who's like really forceful, likes to railroad people. They don't mean to, they micromanage. But I'm feeling like this is why why you're struggling with control. So it could be a family member. It could be somebody in your life who you looked up to, or they went away. So that must, I'm just going to finish the medicine, but they left. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, that was fun. Thank you so much. With grace and gratitude, we love you. Thank you so much. Gosh, she's really pretty. What a nice essence. But I feel like the Lou character is still here. They've kind of stepped forward, and they're saying they're really sorry. I feel like it's an ancestral thing. So maybe it could be a grandmother or a mother. And like, because of the way that they just fucking micromanage everything, like it's just the control, like you just learn to live with this, trauma of control. And I understand that. I was raised in a very similar environment. So I just wanted to throw that in. Yeah, but they're saying like, if they can go back and do it all over again, like they wouldn't be like that. And I also feel like the reason why they were like that is because I feeling like eggshells, like they were walking on eggshells, like, so maybe their husband or their mother, or there was somebody else. It feels like a very strong masculine energy, but that could be a woman too, the female identified. But it definitely feels like I kind of feel like they're like showing me like the Russian nesting dolls, like, we're so fucking sorry. Like, it just got worse down the line, right? Like, it just got worse. It just got worse. And so they're saying, we're so, we're so sorry, but you're here to break that. You're here to break that for yourself and for your family, and to break that trauma, to stop that from happening. You're here to absolutely positively stop that. Like, the buck stops here, no more. Moving forward. It's not, do you hear that? That's the second fucking knock that I got. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. And you guys can see, I hope this is still going. Bubba is right there. So it's not my cat. We've been getting, I'm still channeling, but I just had to tell you guys, like, that was like really wild, because we've been getting that lately. Like, I've been getting like scratches on the door, and it's like, it's definitely like, and it's not just like a tree branch or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, and then there's nothing there, but there's someone there. So yeah. Okay. So I feel like we're done with the channeling there, but they want me to keep talking about this energy, of the micromanage and control, which is why we are in the self-care. I call it the wellness. It's the self-care oracle, but I call it the wellness deck because it really is. So this was the card that I pulled when I thought they wanted me to like show the imagery of like the readings. Did you hear that, Anna? I know. It's crazy. And it says pray. And I'm telling you, prayer really does help. Let's put it this way. The angels are here to help us. The demons are here to help us. All of these energies and entities, whatever label you want to call them, ancestors, they are here to help us and leave the breadcrumbs to show the way, but they cannot make the decision for us, right? Like the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So I'm hearing it's time to really pray for what you want, and also being very clear about what you want. Did you just hear that? It went, there's like I was like, it sounded like something fell in my water, but there's nothing in my water. I don't want to pour it out, but there's nothing. I'm going to drink it. That was weird. Okay, you know what? Well, it's because, you know what? I invite a lot of different energies, and people are coming and going. People are coming and going, right? I'm seeing the numbers change as people come in and go out and come in and go out. So we're just clearing the energy. It's okay. And yes, you may come in if you're here for the greatest and highest good of all. That is the only way you can come in. And I appreciate you knocking at the door. It's so interesting. You have to remember, not everybody wants you to win. Not everybody wants you to succeed, especially if you are a powerful starseed and you were put here to do something profound. The more you are kept in the dark and you don't go after what you're meant to do, the more the dark gets to play, right? But we're all going to go in and out of the dark all the time, every day. It's like I had a meltdown on Saturday, but I didn't let it dictate the rest of my day. My husband's been getting real with me. He's like, you have been micromanaging the fuck out of me. He's like, well, I'm paraphrasing, but I mean, he was trying to be kind about it, but I mean, I can hear what he was really feeling. And, and he was just like, you're making me crazy. And it's because I'm trying to help him because he's working so much and he's doing this, he's doing that. And I'm like, when I'm home, I'm like, what can I do to help? I'm not going to have this view. And I'll probably wish I had sat here for 6 fucking hours and did nothing but look outside, And then comes back. I always feel like it wasn't, it's like, it's all good. It's all good. Like, but right. It's like, but we have to ask for help is what Spirit is saying. Like, ask for help. So I'm going to read the card. Let me find the number. Oh, it's on the card. They're like, it's on the card. Number 36. I bet I need my little grannies for this. I bet I do. Some of these books, I appreciate that they're trying to save money and trees, but boy, it's really challenging for me. Ooh, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. So I don't know who this is for, but it comes up 13, and it says call mom. So my birthday's on the 13th. My mom's birthday's on the 13th, and I haven't talked to my mom in over 3 years, and that's really weird. So I don't know if that's for me or for one of you guys. It doesn't, honestly, to be honest with you, I don't feel like it's for me because I've been like doing my thing. Could be. So, call mom. If it feels good. Oh my gosh. And then I looked at 17 and it says treat yourself. If it feels good, I heard. If it feels good. If it doesn't, like for me right now, it doesn't feel good to call my mom. I love my mom, but it doesn't feel good for me to call my mom because we are in different places and different paths. I needed to take a break from her because her version of prayer and my version of prayer aren't the same. And I didn't want to be judged for who and what I am. And I was like, listen, you go live your life, I'll go live mine. Thank you. If our paths go back, that's awesome. But if they don't, I'm like, I cannot keep doing the same patterns with the same people over and over. And I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. But you know what? Did you ever hear that Garth Brooks song, Unanswered Prayers? It's there for a reason. Sometimes our prayers aren't answered because that's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what's meant for us. That's not in our fucking game plan. That's not what we put in our soul contract. You can divert from your soul contract at any time, but if there's certain things that were woven into your soul contract that are like woven into the history of what is meant to be, you will get there. Trust me, you will get there. What is meant for you will find you. You're not missing anything. When we feel the fear of missing something, that's regret. That's past. That's old. Or it's about something that we want so badly, but if you're clinging on to it that tight, there's probably a reason, because when we let go and we let the flow come, then the things come that we couldn't even possibly imagine. Certain things have been coming into my orbit in the last 24 hours that I'm like, what? Hold the phone, shut it. What? No, no, what? Then I sat with it and I'm like, that's interesting. That kind of feels right. And all of a sudden I started to feel free and more free and more free and more free and more free because I had this, vision. But the irony of the whole thing was, what I'm in now, what I have now, is something I put out into the universe almost 9 years ago, and I'm living it. Now it's time for a new dream, a new goal, a new, you know what I mean? Sometimes we're going to stick with that one thing, and sometimes we're just going to move on. And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. So pray. The interpretation, also, it's number 36. If that means anything to you, you can look that up, angel number, or it's also the number 9. And nines are about you're almost there. 9 means a lot of things, actually. And it depends on what you're looking at, and different, even in the tarot, like the 9 of Wands is different than the 9 of Cups, right? So whatever the interpretation that is for you, and you can research that on your own, whatever clicked. So it says, whatever your religious affiliation or their lack of, there is power in prayer. Focusing your intention is powerful. Getting in touch with a higher being or cosmic force is powerful. Releasing yourself from something that has been weighing you down is very powerful. Even if you don't think you are in a dialogue with the higher power, when you pray, the act of prayer puts you in touch with your soul. It is a truly human thing and very healing. So my husband makes his own plant medicine, his own psychedelic plant medicine. It's all legal. He has found a way to make something that is very awesome, and it only lasts for 5 minutes, and it helps you go in and get in touch with your higher self and brings you back to yourself. It's really powerful stuff. But he said recently that he realized that whenever he's talking to spirit and the voices, he's like, that it's always just him. It's always just his higher self. Hold on, let me make sure we're here. Okay, good. Because both of us, he and I were kind of under this like vibe or this feeling that like, basically, when we say we are one, this is just our interpretation, right? Everybody has their own, whatever you believe or feel is your thing. But we just kind of got this vibe where like, interesting that our connection to ourself and spirit, it's like, oh, this is Isis, a representation of Isis. But I'm Isis, right? Because if I am you and you are me, then we are just all one thing, and we've just broken up and scattered into a gazillion pieces, and now we're bringing it all back together into one. But some people don't want that. They're like, no, we want to stay in the earth school forever. And they're like, no, someday the earth school will be gone. Someday the Earth School will be just a memory, a thing that we did, just like the other planets, the other places, the other galaxies, the other universes. It's so powerful and it goes beyond anything we can possibly imagine. Anyway, so the practice of prayer. If you follow a particular faith, prayer may already be an important part of your life. If you are unused, I've never heard that phrase. I think they're trying to say if you're not used to praying, waiting for inspiration to strike might take a while. Many people pray first thing in the morning or last thing before they go to sleep. Focus your intentions, think about what you truly need in life and what you are thankful for. Open your heart and start to pray. So, also, prayer is just like meditation. It's what it is to you, right? Like, there's no right way, wrong way, morning, night, whatever. I pray all day long. I love that scene in Steel Magnolias where Daryl Hannah's character goes from being like, really mousy to really wild to like really religious because she's trying to figure out who she is because she married this like, bullying narcissist, like, guy or whatever, this abuser. And and in that scene where Dolly Parton's like, um, she kneels down to pray, and they're like, "Is she praying?" And she's like, "Yeah, she's praying." She's like, "She prays if the fucking this happens. She prays if that happens." She's like, "I don't know what's going on." She's like, "She just prays all the time now." And I was like, I laughed because I'm like, that's how I am. I'm like, I pray all the time. I'll pray in a restaurant. I don't care. I'll pray over somebody in a grocery store if I'm told to. I don't give a shit what people think of me or if they think I'm a weirdo. I'm like, I don't care. I'm not here for you, right? I'm here for everybody else. And I'm here to bring the medicine. I'm here to get the medicine. And I'm here in human form so that I can live through it again and bring all my lives together to understand. And even then, you know, we won't really ever really truly understand till we leave these avatars again, right? So, with that being said, let's see if we have any more self care oracle. Ooh, so that one was praise. See, that's what I said. Sometimes they're long, sometimes they're short. There are some of these, so I'm going to see if they want me to pull any of these. Okay. All right. And then just because they didn't have me pull these for the other ones, but witchy, witchy, witchy. No, I think well, let's see, because I did see this for one of them, and I think that's for 3. Okay, yeah. So that is it for 2. We had a nice channeling. We pulled a card. You are most welcome. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to wrap up reading 2, and I'm going to dive into reading 3. So thank you for being here. I love you so much. Take really good care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you next time. And like I said, I don't know if if this is a new thing or if they're just these one-off things that they're just having me like just jump on here whenever. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm meant to do when I'm meant to do it. So that's it. So I'll see you over at reading 3. Thank you, reading 2. We now close the portal for you. Bye-bye. Okay, so welcome reading 3. Welcome reading 3. Fun, fun, fun. We'll have fun, fun, fun till our daddy takes the T-bird away. Okay, this is for my witches. For my witches and healers and deep down believers, welcome to reading 3. So we're talking about hope and control. Interesting that I didn't know we were talking about hope, but apparently we are. We're talking about hope and we're talking about control. Oh my gosh, it's like I took a break, went to the bathroom, had my little smoky treat, like came back, started channeling again, and wow, it's just like it's like a different experience. But I'm here for it. I'm digging it. We're 2 hours in. This is awesome. If you've hung on here this long, you are rock stars. And if you had to go, no worries. We will see you next time. Thank you for being here. This is going to be really interesting. I don't know exactly how this is going to go, but when we were talking about control, it's different for everybody and how we perceive control. And ooh, I got the chills. So welcome, whoever just came back on, or whoever. Ooh, yes, and blessed be all the witches. Hi, Anna. Yeah, my whole body just like went into like. There are some strong, but also the cool thing about this is that you guys are here live, but like the higher selves of the people that will watch this are here too. You know what I mean? So it's fucking cool. We have some really old, cool witches. Okay. This card has been talking to me and it's on the bottom, so we're going to take it. Incubation. What did I say when we started this whole thing? Today is March 4th, 2024. What is that? The end of winter, Northern Hemisphere. To our Southern Hemisphere family, they are at the end of summer. Whenever we are at the end of one season. Oh, I love that we're starting 3 and there's 3 people watching. Blessed be. And so it is. but whenever we are at the beginning or end of something is when we really kind of take a minute, take a break, take a breath, sit back and go, okay, what, what did I learn in that, season? What was, so your mission, should you choose to accept it, that I'm getting from spirit. I'm feeling this kind of like, I almost feel like my head is feeling scratchy and like, you guys are so powerful. Shit. I'm serious. Like I feel the fairy energy. I feel the witch energy. I feel the angel energy. I feel the Reiki energy. I feel all of you. I feel all of it. And I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for filling my mind, body, and soul with your presence. Thank you so much. I really, you honor me by being here. Uh, but yeah, I'm feeling like this kind of pregnant, tumultuous but beautiful at this happening. Oh my gosh, you know what I mean? That is really cool. I'm not getting a pure channeling so much as that spirit is saying, and as far as the incubation goes, for some of you, you've been in incubation. I mean, you're going to plant the seeds for it. And this fall, you're going to fucking reap the harvest like you have never reaped the harvest before. If you plant in the fall and grow in the spring, you hear me? So we're wrapping up this winter and summer energies of the North and the South hemispheres, and we're going into rebirth and renewal. Okay. So that's the energy I'm getting from spirit. If you are moving, like Anna, you were talking about that you have to move, good, go. This is your time. This is it. You know why? Because we are in the shadow. We are approaching the shadow of Mercury retrograde. Mercury is going retrograde on April 1st. We've got the 4/4 portal. We've got the new moon. We've got the solar eclipse. We've got eclipse season coming. This is a really big full solar eclipse. This is a big one. There's a lot of shit that's going to happen. There's stuff that's going on. This is what I feel. This is just what I feel. It could be different for you. Okay. So if it doesn't align with you, don't take it as your medicine. I'm serious. But what I am feeling for the collective, yes, big energy. Anna feels it too. What I'm feeling for the collective is this kind of like wherever you're going to be in the 4/4 portal, is where you're going to be. It's almost like those are the seed, like those seeds need to be planted. I don't care, if whatever, you know what I mean? Like, because it's so different for all of you guys. It's so individualized, but I just feel like wherever we're going to be on the 4/4 portal is going to set the precedence. And that's where you are figuratively, mentally, emotionally, physically. I know for myself, like I said that to Alder, I said, it's like, I'll see things ahead. And then I get this, like where spirit pulls me back. And then I'm like, okay. And it's like they don't want me to talk about it. They don't want me to, that's why I haven't been doing a lot of readings or a lot of stuff on either channel. I'm doing more shorts and stuff to kind of keep you entertained and to help pull you along spiritually. But I'm like, oh, because you know me, I'm just like, I'm not a liar. And I just like speak my truth, whatever the truth means for me. And so I'm just like, a lot of times I'm the barometer of the collective. And so but I'm not, I mean, we all have our own lives and trajectory, of course, but I'm just saying like the things that I feel is kind of like what's going to be the overall energy. And I just cannot shake this feeling that, let me make sure that we're still going. Oops, shit. Sorry. Did I lose you guys? I can't help but shake this energy. I feel like I want to go over by the star. I can't help but shake this energy that we all need to be on the 4/4 portal, like where our purpose is, or like where we're meant to be, if that makes any fucking sense. Or at least planting the seeds for it. You know what I mean? Like if you're in a situation where you cannot go anywhere and you cannot, like, you're like, no, I'm like here till blah, 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 then it means like you're supposed to be planting the seeds towards that goal. So like if you want to write a novel, you make sure you're, starting it before or on the 4/4 portal and keeping up with it. If you're someone who wants to, play music or whatever, it's like really be practicing every single day, showing spirit like that you're ready for this, that you want this. This is the go big or go home year. It's the year of the dragon. It's literally, it is, there's no joke. So we are in an incubation period right now, but we are getting really close. When the 4/4 portal opens, when the solar eclipse happens, there's going to be something that majorly changes a lot of things. And I don't know what that is, what that means. Anna says, I got myself a Lemurian quartz starseed energy. Oh, nice. Yeah, like, right? Like you're, for some reason, you're drawn to the Lemurian energy. It's like, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. There's a lot of things I'm not going to predict, and I'm not going to act like, I'm not Nostradamus here. That's not my purpose. I can only tell you what I feel. And that's what I feel, at least for me and myself and my family. I feel like we need to be where we're supposed to be by the 4-4 portal, or at least like be living there or in that place when it happens. And so I kind of feel like that for everybody. And I don't know if that's not always correct. So, take from it what feels good, leave behind what doesn't. And let me see if they want me to read the book for the incubation. Oh, and my battery's running out, so I gotta hurry up. I'm like, so I gotta hurry up. Incubation. Ooh, Herbal Kitchen came up. Yeah, Homeland. There's a lot of stuff that's going on, you guys. Lots of stuff. Oh, you know what? It's because they go by it's Ostara. Yes, Ostara. I mean, ooh, interesting that it opened to Mabon, which is about balance. We talked about in some of the other readings. So Ostara. Let me get my little grannies on. If for any reason this ends, my phone dies or whatever, that's just where it was meant to end. And I love you. Thank you for being here. With grace and gratitude, I thank you so much for being here and for holding space for us in the tribe and all that good stuff. And take good care of yourselves and each other. But hopefully it will hang on until I'm done here. So Ostara, incubation. What's the hurry? Why the gloom? Your seed is safe within her womb. Await and trust now is the key, for life will bloom most readily. This magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be. There, it is done. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not afraid of it. Like, whatever's coming, like, I'm not afraid of it. Like, I feel love, I feel comfort, I feel safe. Oh, thanks, Anna. Like, I feel good. Like, I really do. I'm like, whatever is going to happen is what is meant to be. So I feel like that's what they're saying. Set your soul free. Don't let the fear and whatever, just, get grounded. The more we get grounded and quiet, the more the answers will come sooner. It's when we get all lost and frantic. I was like that all weekend. I'm like, should we take this place? Should we, reaching out to everybody, acting all crazy because, we went and looked at a place and I was like, is this where we're supposed to be? Is it, and then I was like, whoa. I'm letting like real old programming, like take over my decision-making here, So just get grounded, get centered. Okay. So this is the witch's wisdom for our control issues, right? Because what is fear? Coming from lack of control. And why do we need to control things? We don't. It's an old programming. Yes, Anna says, go with the flow. So the witch's wisdom is, like the sun rising at spring equinox, Ostaro's promise of new beginnings and fertility is on the horizon. Everything is in place to make real your desires. But first, you must allow all things to unfold naturally. The seeds planted at Imbolc need time to nurture deep within the earth. And even though these seedlings may now be appearing, you are yet to witness them grow into full bloom. So have patience, as this is a time of incubation for the development of any projects, wishes, spells, and dreams you have breathed into any energy into. Everything is simmering under the surface, and the timing is perfect to bring the best results. That which you cannot see needs to take place first in the background. So don't try to speed up the process. Just wait, trust, and allow the natural order of things to take place. Your patience will pay off. I'm telling you, there's something. So just take a breather. This isn't like a warning. This is like, hey, we're getting out of winter, summer, we're going into spring and fall, like there's going to be shifts and changes. So just go with the flow of it. We've got Mercury retrograde. Go back and watch this video because I can see a spirit manifest its face on your picture behind you. Cool. Oh, Diane, if you remember, can you put the timestamp of when it was? Oh, I don't doubt that. I mean, we hear shit in here all the time. Like Bubba and I will both like look at each other and we're like, that is like, it's like people are moving around and bumping around, but this is really old tribal lands that we live on, like really old. Like this tribe has been here for 1100 years. There is we can see on Google Maps that there's a structure that looks like a sweat lodge. There's this big hill behind our house, and when we saw the picture, you can see that it's like a shape. and something had grown, really, you can see that it's very interesting. So I'm like, who knows what happened here, especially if it was a sweat lodge. Gosh knows what's around here. But it's made us stronger. It's been awesome. Anyway, let me see. I don't have much time. I have to hurry. I could put it on the charger, but the only thing with that is it's like, I don't know if it'll fuck up. So anyway, let me move forward. But thank you, Diane. That's so cool. But if you can do the timestamp, if you can figure out when that was, that would be really rad. Okay. So the witch's foresight is what you have wished for will come about soon. There are underlying factors that need to be considered before completion. A new project is about to take off. Allow your dreams to unfold naturally without forcing the issue. You have a reason to feel excited. New beginnings await. Oh, I have to say on a personal note for myself, for all of you guys know of all this stuff that's been going on with me. Oh my gosh. It doesn't give me the time because it's live. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, cool, dude. Well, when did you just see it? Because I should have looked at the timestamp. Sorry. So it's 2/12/58. So if it was within this time, when it'll upload, it'll probably be uploaded by tomorrow sometime. Because up in the mountains, it takes forever. It's funny. It's comical. I just go with the flow of it. It's like whatever. But anyway, we'll have to see. There is an old picture of me floating around on the internet of when I was in my friend's secondhand store, and I was working for her, and I was leaving, and I went to take a picture of myself. Yeah, right before you started to read. Okay, reading 3, Diane. Which reading? Okay, so I'll go back and look at it. Anyway, long story short, you know those times you're like, I look fly. And you go to take a picture of yourself, and I took a picture of myself, but I turned all the lights off. But we were on like a main road, and it was like the way that like the flash from my camera, the lights outside, whatever. There was like the lighting was just like a great shot, right? So it wasn't until I was trying to show my friend the picture that she's like, what the fuck is that? She goes, that looks like a mouth. That looks like eyes. Dude, this picture, there's like, it's like all these entities are like, geez, I swear to you, I have got to find it somewhere. But it's like, yeah, I mean, if they want to be seen in the pictures, they'll be seen. So I'm excited to see. That doesn't surprise me, especially because I've been seeing them my whole life, and I pushed away the dark ones because they would scare me. And now lately, I've been, bringing the demons back in and thanking them and having them, be close and stuff. So because they have a purpose too, but they know they're only allowed to be here with love, and they're not allowed to scare me or do. That's why they probably knocked on the last reading. Right? They're like, Lula, can we come in? It's so cute. They're actually, I mean, there's some that aren't, and that's their job to be an asshole. That's okay. That's their job. But I don't get mad at them anymore. It is what it is. Now I kind of want to go back on the painting. Now, are you sure you didn't see the eagle? Because there's an eagle in there, dude. Are you sure you didn't see an eagle? I'm always like, even though I see and deal with spirits all the time, I'm always the first to debunk because it's real, because it really does happen. And like I said, like that picture, you know what I mean? So I totally believe you, but also I'm like, there is an eagle in there. So, okay. All right. So the witch's foresight, we just read that. Yeah, I'm just being really excited, but also I'm like, shit, I gotta go. Okay, so Ostara revealed. It's also on Ostara 70 and 71, which is interesting because I know a lot of us here were born in 70 and 71 in our tribe. Very interesting. Right, we're the crones, like we're at the beginning of our crone. We're the leaders of the pack. But hey, man, we got our young people. You guys are leaders too. Anyway, Ostara revealed. This is a time of balance between light and dark. What do we? Drop the mic, right? Like that's why I love doing them live like this with you guys, because it's like there's no fucking tricks or mirrors. I mean, yeah, sure, I guess I could have somebody out there knocking on the fucking door, but no one's here. Just us up here up on the mountain. At the end, I'll leave with it so you can see what it looks like. But yeah, unless they come up the very long driveway that's like half a mile. Anyway. With that being said, somebody left their fucking car. They must have got an accident or something and left it at the end of our road. It was kind of freaky the other day. And the tags were expired and everything. It was kind of weird, but we just wrote a nice note, and we're like, hey, you got to move your car. And when we came back, it was gone. So I send them good love and light. Hope they're okay. Anyway, okay. So Ostara revealed. This is a time of balance between light and dark, a time of renewal and rebirth of life. The vernal equinox calls to our youthful spirit to come out of hibernation and awaken to the lengthening of days. Yes, yeah, because spring is coming, baby. In pagan times, eggs were given as gifts to family and friends for blessings and abundance. It's a time to celebrate growth and new life. Yeah, so, right? I mean, in real time, that's at the end of this month. So interesting that I told him, I said, I kind of do want to move before Mercury goes retrograde. I mean, it's interesting that it's all kind of happening this way, you know? So I don't know. Like I'm like like I don't know. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed these readings. Thank you so much for being here. Let me make sure we don't have any closing messages, because we might. Any closing messages from anybody? Any other? What do we do with the wellness deck? Did I put it away? I think that's it. That's weird though. It's like it disappeared. Oh, you know what? I might have. What did I do with it? Well, I guess we're not supposed to have any cards from there. So anyway, thank you all for being here. It's been awesome. Like I said, I don't know what's gonna go down the line. I don't know what's gonna happen moving forward. None of us really do. You know, we can have a feeling, we can have a, you know, whatever, but don't get too wrapped up in watching too many readings or going too far ahead right now. If you can, try to stay in the present. Honestly, my husband has been my saving grace, and I'm so grateful for his plant medicine that he creates. And he goes and has these great talks with his higher self and with spirit. And he's really been so present lately. And if it wasn't for his being so present, I don't think I would be able to be as grounded as I am. And that's when it's a benefit. Like, I'm the one that I feel like I'm hindering him. You know what I mean? Like, now I'm like, I need to get my shit together. I need to, like, you know, and that's what I realized, is that I spent the whole winter working on myself and, excuse me, and what I'm meant to do, and where I feel like I'm purging, where I'm meant to go forward, how I'm meant to go forward. And the truth is, when we were moving out of the RV, I said, I really do hope that we keep this RV. And because we had talked about owning this and the property, and having the RV and the property as like an Airbnb or whatever. But I'd have moments, especially when Bubba would sit in the big window in the front, you know, because it's like one of those old boxy ones from like 1984. It's got really good bones. I mean, we have to tear all the carpet out and the whatever, but it's got really good bones. It's got a good engine. It's got really low mileage. There's a lot of really good things about it. And I just remember looking at Bubba in the window, and I started to get a little teary, because I was just like, oh, I feel like this is our home. Like, it's been our home for, you know, a while. And so I'm excited to see what the next chapter brings for us. So thank you for your blessings. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support while we're going through this. I'm sure I'll be sharing more with you guys. I have so much old cabin footage that they've had me save. So I don't know if they're going to have me like show you stuff or what's going to happen. I don't know. But either way, stay tuned for the next chapter, and I look forward to watching and as your next chapter unfolds. And thank you, Anna. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Sam. Sending love and light right back to you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and all of the blessings. I wish for all of us love, unconditional love, because that's what I'm working on too. You know, even little things that we don't think are judgment, and then it's like, yeah, it's fucking judgy, dude. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's hard when we're here as light workers, and we feel like, you know, what we really need to figure out is like what parts of us are woven in from our ancestry, our blood and bone, what was taught, what was wired, what was programmed, and what is real, what is true, what is why we're here, why, you know what I mean? It's like, that's what we're here to do. That's what I've been doing, ripping, going in there, getting in the guts of it, getting in the, you know, I mean, and I don't know if this is for you or not, Anna, but like, you know, I moved back home with my parents. I know that you have a few times too, and it's not easy, but I moved back in with my parents once, and it was actually a really great motivator, because I was like, I need to go back to school and work 2 jobs just so that I can like do my dreams. And it pushed me. It pushed me. So just when you think you don't have the strength, you are so much stronger than you are. And this is for all of us. Just when we think we don't have the strength, we are so much stronger. We are limitless. And if you say to spirit, I need help, spirit, please help me, show me the way, they will lay the foundation, and it will unfold, and you will make it, and everything will be fine. I promise you. I promise you. I feel that for myself too. You know, for the first time, I'm like, I'm not scared, because I know, and not just that, but like, we know enough people up here now, you know, where we didn't like have, I mean, he had his family connection, but he doesn't really talk to his family. He only really talks to one family member. And so, you know, even though he wanted to attach himself to the tribe, he doesn't feel like it's time for him to do that. So interesting how life is, right? but now we know certain people, and we went and saw this one area that I really love. And and it's funny, there's been so many people who are like, I could totally see you living there, at this specific place. They're like, I could totally see you living there. And I was like, I mean, I like it. I'm like, but I don't know if I see me living there. But recently I've been seeing me like spending summers there. And I was like, I wonder if I'm meant to just work there for the summer. So I have a feeling we're leaving Washington State at some point. Okay, my phone's about to go. I love that they give you the warning, because that's the best part. But I have a feeling that we're going to be leaving, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted. But in the meantime, follow your dreams, man. That's all I can say. Follow your heart, follow your dreams, follow what makes your soul happy, what brings you joy. And I promise you, everything will fall into place. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. I love you so much. I love you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye, 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 bye. I'll leave you with this. Hold on. I feel like signing off Spock or whatever. I feel like, all right, I love you. Bye.